What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Where the Locals Skate. I'm your host once again, OG Skate Show. This is a podcast where we get to know local skaters on and off the board. And of course, here with me always, the Couch Boys.
Yo, what up, everybody?
David Prata and Victor Castillo.
What's up?
And now, let's introduce the guests this week. We have Robert. Now, how do you say your last name?
So you say my last name, Almaraz.
Almaraz.
Yeah, it's a very uncommon last Mexican name.
Uh-huh.
And I think it originates from Spain. And then I did this whole history thing where I think it's from my dad's side, like Guanajuato or Jalisco. Either or, I know I'm going to get my S beat if I get it wrong. But so
I wanted you to say it because I didn't want to butcher it.
No, it's completely fine. Like 27 years, people misspelling it, mispronouncing. I'm okay with it.
All right. What city are you repping?
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Anaheim, yeah. For a little bit, it was Anaheim because everybody's off the Zans over there, but it's Anaheim, yeah.
Wow.
I was born and raised there.
Okay.
I can even show you what hospital I was born at, too.
Wow.
So
Yeah. All right, cool. How did you start skating?
I started skating I actually was a kind of more of a late bloomer. When I was 14, I had a homie that lived on the street, and he had a board, and he had an older brother, and he was like, hey, like, look at my board, this is tight. And the first board I ever saw was a Plan B, and I'm like, oh shit, this is really cool.
Okay.
And like my mom saw that, and then she's like, oh, like, you're like the skateboarding thing. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, you know. And it's like, oh, we have a board in the back. And when I was little, they gifted me like a Pokemon board, which was like Ash and Pikachu, and on the board, and I'm like, oh, I'll use it. But this is before I knew skate shops and vans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of got into it like that slowly from that. And then my friend that lived on the street, he was putting me on game. I'm like, oh, this is P-Rod, this is Chaz Ortiz, this is like Ryan Sheckler, this is like Danny Wade, this is that. And to me, it was like a opening. I didn't know about like Thrasher magazine. I knew about magazines, but I didn't know about like Thrasher or Transworld or Skateboarding Mag and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, oh, this is how I kind of get into it. And then this is around like the age of like social media is about to boom, and like the internet was more prevalent and stuff like that. So I kind of got a full like explosion of like, oh, this is what skateboarding is, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, because me growing up, you know, it was always like videos. We had to wait for videos to see what was going on, and nowadays, you know, it's just in your face.
Yeah, it definitely is. So
yeah,
that's how I kind of got into it. And then it's funny, he kind of fell out of it. He got into biking and cars, and my mom already bought me the board because we went to Vans in the block of Orange, and one day she was like, hey, like, do you want a board? And I was kind of stunned-founded. I'm like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah, I'll buy you one. I'm like, oh shit. It was a purple Baker with Bones STF with reds and Royal Trucks, and it was like a rip of the Pal Peralta logo, but it was a 4-star character on there, and it was like the blue and black kind of logo. But I got that, and then the friend that got me into like skating and stuff kind of fell out of it and started doing like bikes and cars, and I'm like, well, my mom spent his money, I might as well just stick with it. Right. And ever since then I've been sticking with it.
That's cool. So at the time, were you rolling around with the guy that was putting you up on game? Was he like kind of showing you tricks as well, or
he kind of just put me on game. He never really showed me tricks.
Uh-huh.
We were like still really like new to it, so we didn't understand like how to do an ollie, how to do a shove it, how to do this, how to do that. And like we're 14, 13 at the time, so we were kind of like just kind of stuck on our street. We didn't have like, his older brother was already too old where he's like hanging out with like an older crowd.
Right.
But we didn't have anybody to kind of like take us around and just kind of skate. We were just like, oh, we'll just skate on our street. And then we had another kid on the block too that was skating for a bit with us too, and we kind of started learning from there. It wasn't until like, obviously when you go to high school, you start meeting everybody else that skates and stuff like that. So I kind of got more introduced like that. And then he kind of already fell out of it by the time we were in high school. So I was already kind of deep into it. And that's how I met a lot of friends from that.
That's cool.
And a lot of them are like lifelong friends too. So
from high school?
From high school, yeah. A lot of people are kind of tripped out. I was like, oh, you're still friends with them? I'm like, yeah, like we skate. It's like, that's something we have something in common. We just always skate and we always hang out.
Yeah, that does happen. You know, sometimes these guys, and some people come back to skateboarding, like luckily I did.
Mm-hmm.
And but some people, it just wasn't for them,
you
know, in the long run. But that's cool that you're still homies with those guys.
Do you guys Did you guys have it like anybody? Any of the dudes? My bad. I'm kind of like.
No, you're chilling.
Did you guys have anyone that was like one of the top skaters that you guys looked up to or anything? Like, dude, that's the dude I want to be like, or like you guys wanted to skate with him, or he was the best one in your school, or did you guys have anyone like that?
So I did actually. So there was a video called Summer Days, and it was another group of kids that on the other side of where I lived, there's a park called Walnut Grove Park. And those guys, one of the kid had a camera. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, he's like doing a video. This is my first exposure. Because prior to that was like, I would seen all the other videos. Like, I've seen like Fully Flared a little later. Like, yeah, right. Once I got into skateboarding, I was like, oh, I'm going to do my research. Like, what's Fully Flared? Like, what's Lakai? What's this? What's Girl? What's Chocolate? Like, what's all this? Like, Baker Has a Death Wish. Like, what is all this? So when I found out there's local videos and the guys that did it, at the time, they're called The Clan. And they did a skate video called Summer Days. And to me, I'm like, what? Like, you could do this too? Like, anybody could do this? And I would watch that video. I'm like, this is so sick. So it was all those guys. And it's funny because I become friends with them, like, later down the line. Because I would start going to that park. Because that park, at the time, there was no skate park. The Ponderosa wasn't built. There was a skate park in downtown Anaheim, but it was for the Boys and Girls Club. And they had it shut down at that time, too. Okay. No Montanita. And then the closest to us was, like, Centennial. So obviously, we're kids. We didn't have any money for, like, for the bus, or if we did, we'll take it, and it takes a while, But I started skating with those guys, and I started saying, like, damn, those guys are good. Like, everybody was good in their own right. And I'm like, fuck, like, I really want to hang out with them and see, like, if I could progress with them, or if, like, we could do more videos like that, And it was cool, but I was still kind of, like, a little too young to be, like, hanging out, because they're kind of still had their own group. So me and my other homie, we go to the park, but we'd just skate there like 20, 30 minutes and then we'll go home or whatever. Those guys were always there all the time just because it was like perfect flat ground and everybody could skate. But it was those guys called The Clan, and it was like a collective of them where I'm like, oh, I want to hang out. I want to go skate with them too.
Was it like you guys had like almost like local teams? Like you guys would make your own group of friends?
Yeah.
And like, oh, we're team this and that's team that. And then like.
Yeah, so there's like The Clan. I guess another one my homie told me a while ago was like Team Purple, I guess. And then
that's crazy. We never had a team name like when we went skating, me and the homies. But we did have a spot that we named the Lip Slide.
Oh, okay.
So like we would be like, are we going to the Lip Slide? Yeah, let's go to the Lip Slide. So we would always just go there, and like that's what we had. Like, oh damn, because spots had names.
Yeah, and spots still have names to this day.
Yeah.
So. All like I don't know, for the Anaheim skate scene, it was super like everybody had like little cliques, But it just because one, we didn't have cars, so we were all just kind of prone to our area.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the Walnut Grove kids was like all of us in that same region because we all lived by there, and then you got the Ponderosa kids that were all like living like skating over there. And those kids were really really good at that time. Like I think one of them was getting a box from like America and stuff, and this is 2010, 2011. That's when like Stay Gold and everything was super big, and everybody's like, oh, I want to be like Reynolds and stuff. So he was getting a box. And then obviously like the Santa Ana kids and stuff like that. Every once in a while when I did have the money, I would go to Centennial, or like the few times that I did, like I would see all the like the emerging dudes. Like I saw Frankie there like a long time ago. So before he was like even anything. And he was another guy that was like kind of blowing up with him because he was, for his age, he was really, really good.
Talking about Frankie
Villani, yeah.
Okay. He's been out in our area a lot lately.
Yeah. I think he likes going to that park a lot, from what I know. Yeah.
Bowling Park, I see him.
Probably because it's new to him now. Like it's probably like he's just unlocking all these different obstacles that he likes to skate. So
yeah.
But I see him; he'll kill any park he goes to. And it's fun to watch, man. He's like, I remember the first time being introduced to him was like, I went way out to it's called Lanark Skate Park. It was pretty far. And I remember some guy was like, he was just a dad, he was taking his son out to meet these guys. And I think it was like it was a Jamie Foy, something with Jamie Foy that day. But they had all the dudes out there, like Frankie was out there, and Shane Hale was out there. And I just remember like all shake junk dudes.
Yeah.
And man, he was telling me, watch out for this guy. They call him the magician or whatever. And I was like, what? Wait, what? He's like, yeah, watch. He's going to be a dope skater when he gets out there. And I'm like, all right, I'll be on the lookout for him. And Deshaun Jordan too was there, and he was still kind of unknown, so that was kind of cool getting the inside tip, from somebody, because I was freshly kind of new coming back to skating again, so that was rad. That's when I got Jamie Foy to sign the board.
It's a trip like coming out from La Puente, West Covina, me, myself, and Peralta. Like, you know, like coming out from La Puente and West Covina, like knowing people, like other skate teams, like New Team, Frankie Lizondo, Kirk Rocha, and them. Shout out to them. Or like Baldwin Park locals, like Calvin. And they had Noodles. They had Steve Corona. Like, you know, those guys are all killing it. And I was like coming out, like looking up to them, like. Dude, it's pretty badass. You know, there's a trip how it's a small world. You know, you put your footage out there and you get people see it and you get known and people know who you are and stuff. So it's pretty cool, man.
Well, even on that, like it's like I said, like, you know, little clicks. Well, I'm starting to learn like the OC people out here because I work out here in OC now. Yeah. And sometimes I'll, you know, cruise by and then just through this podcast too, I was like, dude, I didn't even know like OC had its like own like life of skateboarding. I thought it was just like. Everything was LA, you know, like everyone from LA, everyone was trying to go to LA, and then I come to find out that OC has its own like culture and like their own skate scene, their little teams and everything.
Oh man, well back in the day, Huntington Beach, right? I mean, all the dudes lived out there, like Reynolds and all that, you know, like
off of Warner and stuff.
Warner,
yeah, it was off of Warner.
So I mean, like Tom Penny was out there, just you know, in the skate park. So Huntington High was always a big spot.
Yeah, that one's. People still skate that spot too, but. Yeah, going back to what you said on like OC skate culture, it's like because everybody wants to be out in LA, but like nobody ever thinks about the hidden gems here and there, or like we see skate videos and we think everything's in LA because they never put like the location, the spot, or whatever. It wasn't until like you start actually going out and filming, it's like, oh shit, this spot's actually like 20 minutes down the street from me. Like, oh shit, this is actually like over in Orange County. Like I didn't even know that it was here, or like, oh, this is far. Like I thought it was super close, but So when you go out there and film, you're like, oh, there's like
you start learning like
more things about it. Yeah.
It's like I was telling a homie one time, I was like, if you really think about it, all these spots we see in videos, they're not even really in downtown. You only probably get like 10 or 12 of them out there. Yeah. Because even where we're at right here in SGV, like we have like a majority of the skate spots out that way. And then when we started coming out to OC to skate with like our old team called Bumtown, I started realizing all these spots we were skating here. I was like, dude, I didn't know all this was like right over the hill because I live right here in Rolling Heights. So I'm like, all these spots were right over the hill, and I never knew that.
Yeah, that's something that I've kind of really liked about skating is kind of like it takes you out of your like comfort zone. You're like, if I wasn't into skating, I probably would have never gone out to LA and just like experienced new things, you know? Because I think I would have been just like a little video game kid playing like Halo 3 and getting into streaming and stuff. But like, I really like skating because it makes me get out there and also. Kind of forces you to interact with a lot of people too, regardless. You interact with the crazies, the security guards, people that want to see you do tricks, and it kind of breaks you out like your shell, you know. And it's cool. I like that. I really liked about skateboarding. Like you don't think about it, but when you sit down and talk about it, you're like, oh damn, I do owe kind of a lot to skateboarding, but skateboarding doesn't owe anything to me. It's just having the blessing to even do it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because out of all those experiences, if you're like you're into filming too, you get all the shenanigans, all the B-roll. And then, like you said, you get to meet all these people. Even just going to spots, you run into, like, random pros. Next thing you know, you're just chopping it up. You and the pro link up or, like, vibe out. And next thing you know, here, bro, hit me up. Now he's like, oh, shit, now I have a connection to something? Yeah. It's like the homie Steve was telling us the other day. He's like, he broke down with Leo one day, and now, like, him and Leo are broing it out now all the time. I'm like, that's pretty crazy, man.
Dude, yesterday we went to this rail. Homie took us to this handrail, took us up to Sierra Madre. Dude, I was like, dude, I've never been to this neighborhood before, and I live on the area. I'm like, dude, there's just spots everywhere, and it gets to like ditch spots, bank spots. Like, we'll go to the uncomfortable spots just to try to find something. You know, we'll find it. And we'll make art out of it. We'll bring a video home. We'll make a trick.
Well, it's like we were in a rich neighborhood too, and we were like at. It's one of those neighborhoods where, you know, if you're making too much noise at night.
Yeah, people are like, what's going on?
Yeah, dude, I noticed that when we were skating the spot, a couple times cars would just pull over and look and be like, what are they doing? Yeah. Are they being, you know, troublemakers? And then you see us skating, they'd be like, all right, peace out.
Yeah, cheese muscles.
Yeah. That's cool, man, dude. Yeah, because you got to be careful out there. You never know, like. These people may call the cops on you just because they're making noise.
Like, I think one of the experience. I don't really get into a lot of experience with like cops or anything. Like I've gotten older where it's kind of like, oh, they told us to roll us out. Let's just go to the second spot. Like, there's no point in just fighting for it. I'm not a kid anymore, but I have like one or two interactions where like we're at a spot in Brea and we're trying to help out the homie Lorenzo. He goes by Young Chocolate. He's trying to do this like big 16 with the rail, but the way it's set up, it's like the 16, the rail, and then it's like a elementary school, but it's in Brea, so it's like it's those open schools, and it's by a park.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that like there were still teachers in there trying to skate, and I'm like getting like a B angle, like on the bottom, or I'm on the top actually. I'm at the top, my homie's at the bottom, and we're filming, and like this set goes into the street, and like cops started pulling up, and I'm like, fuck, like this is kind of too much, you know, like we got to kind of kick it from here. But they had that energy. It was like, dude, this is like my only chance I'm gonna get it, and he tried going for it, and he was so close, but we couldn't go back because the next time we go back, there's like a fence blocking it.
Oh.
And then it was another of a bus because the homie Nick was like, oh, I really want him to get this clip, so I'm gonna bring a drill and try to like saw it off or something, you know. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll be lookout. As he's doing it, another teacher's like, what are you doing? And he like drops it and he like runs down the stairs, and we're supposed to be lookout, but it's like we're lookout here, and then we didn't realize the teacher was in her room, which is right here, and then the fence, and the homie Nick was on the other side, and he's like just drilling it away or whatever. And right, we and the homie and Nana, we look, and we're just like, oh, there's a teacher there, and like she's coming after Nick. Nick drops the tool or whatever and runs down the stairs, and we just kind of like turn around and we just kind of like slowly walk away. It's like, I don't want to deal with this today. But
crazy.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling.
Yeah, just I mean, taking off fences, man.
we really want to get that clip, because the couple times we've been back to that 16 like 3 times already. First time, like he was feeling it out, but cops rolled up because the angle Nick was trying to get, he was on the middle of the street, and he parked his truck there, and he got on top of it just to film it. And then we got rolled out because cops came through. Second time was like the teacher incident, and then the third time we tried to go back for it to unlock the fence, but that's when we got rolled out. And we were like, you know what, this ain't that worth it. We'll find another set,
another 16 or something.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes it's understandable. Like sometimes, like some people like us as a skatable, we understand, but some people don't understand. They're like just like you know, they're like, dude, go to this, like people kicking us out, like, dude, go to the skate park, go down the street, there's a skate park. We're like, no, dude, you guys don't understand, we're working on a video project, you know, like I really want this clip, like we come from far away just to skate here, but all they see is vandalism, which we are doing, kind of messing up the property, you know. But at the same time, you know, if it takes for us to like paint it or fix it up just to get our clip, you know, we're just not causing no harm, nothing. We're just trying to do our job too as skateboarders, trying to get the legit trick and like make our video project, you know. We're not trying to hurt nobody, like tag the walls or nothing. But
well, I don't know if you've seen that Abby Taylor clip when he's trying to switch heel Hollywood 16.
Yeah.
And then the dude rolls up and he's all, this is all I got. You know, I traveled 5 hours and everything. It's kind of does work like that because, you know, you sit there, you prep, you're mentally prepping yourself the night before because you're like, you already know the next day you're like, damn, I got to huck it down in 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you get there and you're ready, you're hyped, you're good to go. And all of a sudden it's like, nah, you're just really, I prepped for this. I got the homies to drive out here. In a way you feel beat up inside because you're like, I wasted the homies' time. Everyone's time. Then like, now we can't do this. And like, as a skater, I think inside you kind of leave bummed. You're like you feel failed.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I always tell like a lot of the homies, it's like, don't beat yourself up just because like you didn't do it. As like, what really matters is we came out and tried, you know?
Yeah. Right.
I'd rather have somebody say like, oh, I tried, than rather been talk about like, oh, I wish, or I could have, or I should have, you know?
Yeah, we should have went there, huh?
Yeah, we should have went there. Or we should just done this. Like, I'd rather hear like, oh, at least I tried it. And like, and then I give them an option. Do you want to go back for it?
And if you get kicked out of the spot, right, it's more like, well, it wasn't lack of you not doing it, you know? What I mean? You had to leave.
Yeah, we had to be. Had to leave.
So that shouldn't bum a person out too much because if you got kicked out, but if you tried your best and did your, hey bro, we'll just go back and get it.
Yeah, we'll just come back in another time. It's funny going back to like how you said like, oh, but like, what are you guys doing? Go to the skate park, this and that. One of the little white lies I kind of learned to build up was like, if we're getting rolled out by like, let's say if it's a Karen or like somebody that's not fucking with us at the spot, I'm always kind of like, oh, my bad, we're just trying to do a video project. I'm a freelancer. And then it depends on the spot too. If I see my homie wearing like shoes, like he's wearing Vans, it's like, oh, he's filming something for Vans for the ZAM program. So like, if you want to give us like 10 minutes, we'll be out of your hair or something like that. Or like, hey, we're doing this. And he's like, actually like, if he's wearing Nike SBs, like Nike's actually trying to get him on just so we could get a little bit more time. And people are always like, oh, okay, cool. Like, all right, well, we'll leave you guys alone. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Right.
It's like they hear like a big name company and they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like Nike actually came and did something to their school.
Yeah, you know.
And that actually works too, because I got a couple times that they gave me a couple minutes to skate because they see big cameras, they see photography, and they're like, oh, they're probably like professionals. Like, all right, I'll give you guys like, you just gotta know how to talk to them nicely. Don't be a dick about it. Don't like cause them trouble. Just be like, sorry sir, like sorry to bother you. Can I just try one more? Like we come from far away. Just one more try just for my video. I'm working on for like my sponsors. If they're nice, they'll let you try it. If not, then you just gotta go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are you goofy or are you regular?
Regular? Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. What else? What were the videos that really hyped you up?
Fully Flared. Mike Mo's part was always the one that kind of got me going because he. Good part. Yeah, he was like, I think when he was 16 during that time.
Like Fully Flared.
Like when he was filming for that part, like 16, 17. But he was super young, so like I saw him like oh wow, he's like my age, like he's actually getting it too, so he's super sick. And at that time, like he wasn't super big as he is now, because back then it was like, oh, you hear Chaz Ortiz because he has like that Gatorade ad and stuff like that, or like P-Rod and stuff. They're kind of still on the big mainstream, but Mike Mo was on the come up, and like I really like the way he skated, so I really like how techy he was and stuff. For another one, Mark Johnson's part in that was really good. I really like that one.
Dude, Mark Johnson, great skater, man.
Who else?
I haven't seen anything lately from him, but
he has his little company. He told me about this like Jim Greco's. It's funny how he told me about it like so long ago, and he's barely coming to fruition. But me and my homie went to Jim Greco's like Supra shoe like premiere. I forget, like Jobs or something like that. Jobs, or I forget the title, but it was out in like Hollywood. We go out there, we're leaving, and I see Mark right there, and I was like, oh, like, yo, Mark, let me get a picture, because I never got a picture with him during like the whole Pretty Sweet, because every time they would do the tours, he was never there.
Yeah.
So I saw him like, dude, let me get a picture, this and that, and we started talking for a bit, and then Muska rolls up, and like we're just in a conversation about, I forgot what we were talking about. I think like at the time Supreme was blowing up, and like we're having conversation about that and like how the industry is going and stuff. And I was leaving, and I'm like, damn, like this feels weird. Like I had like a conversation with like two legends, and I'm just like I'm running on hype,
Yeah.
But I tried to keep cool. I was like, oh yeah, that's actually sick. But inside, I'm like a little giddy girl. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? This is so sick. Like what the fuck?
I know that feeling for sure.
Yeah, but you have to keep it cool. And to me, it was just like super random. But yeah, so it would be Mike Mo at that time, Mark Johnson's. Trying to figure out, Dylan Reader's parts were always really great.
RSP. So, I mean, rest in peace.
So I really like that. And then, where else? I don't know, just whatever. I just go back and I rewatch it. Reynolds, Stay Gold part. Sick. Jerry's part was always sick on Stay Gold.
Okay.
Jay Suit, his part was always super sick.
Dude, his part was all switch. Huh?
Yeah, it was all switch and nollie. And I just liked it because at that time when I got exposed to that, I didn't realize like, oh, you have to try in skateboarding. Because in my head, I'm thinking everybody's good. They get it first try. But when I saw Jerry like just screaming his guts out and stuff, I'm like, oh, you actually have to try it, you know? So I guess those videos still hype me up to this day. And then lately, it's been just watching my homie skate for the most part. I just get like when I go out filming, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And like,
who do you see on the come up right now that you're really excited about?
Like, I'm not sure. That's a good question. Like, are you like homie wise, or are we talking
homie wise, or just even on the Instagram maybe? Like
the homie Lorenzo or Young Chocolate, he's like super good, and I'm hyped that he's working on something and like he's getting out there more and more.
That's cool that they're actually doing things and putting things together. And you helping him with this?
Yeah. So like every once in a while I'll hit him up. He's like, hey, like, are you trying to go film this weekend and try to get some footage going, That's cool. I'm helping him out with his little side project. I'm also helping out 88 Skate Supply with their little promo video that I've been filming for like the last couple months. And then I'm working like my own little personal project as well. So I'm kind of like juggling 3 things, but it all comes down to like, oh, I'm just skating. I'm going with filming, like I don't think about like, oh, these are big projects. Oh, like, you want to go film? Do you want to film for something?
Yeah, you just keep capturing the magic, and then it'll all come together, man.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like you stash it away, and then, like, finally you're like, oh, shoot, I got a good amount of footage. Let me see what I can put together with this.
Yeah, so that's what's kind of happening right now. It's like I filmed a lot over the year, and then I'm like, right now I'm like logging the footage, like keeping the hijinks and the lands and stuff.
Yeah.
And I realized like how much I had. I'm like, oh damn, this is like a lot for a year, So
a year.
Yeah, it's a year, but like.
Do you have a deadline, or do you know when it's gonna come out?
So the personal projects that I'm working on is kind of like a second video to what I had originally dropped on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
it's like just the second like full length one, but that one's gonna take a little bit more time. So I would probably put like another year to that.
Okay.
In the meantime, what I like to do a lot is like get a lot of the footage that people don't want to use, or like let's say if like somebody that I haven't really filmed with up for a while and they haven't came out or they're busy, I ask them like, hey, can I put your footage in the edit?
Yeah.
And then I'll put the footage in the edit, and then I'll drop it on the Instagram and then YouTube, and then just kind of keep the real clips for the real video, you know? So kind of like do that where you're still producing a lot of content, but also kind of providing people like, hey, we're still working on something. Just like, hold on, you know? So,
right.
And after dropping my first full length video was kind of like, okay, now I know how to kind of run this a little bit better, you know? So, and having not better crews, but understanding how to really run a crew, especially with the multitude of people, is kind of very difficult. Well, at the time I realized.
I'm actually personally just going through that myself because I'm starting a homie video. So right now, like for sure 5 of us, but you know, I'm putting the sessions together every Saturday, hitting up. I have a little group DM where I'm like, who's coming out this weekend? So I know what cars it take, how many cars we're gonna need, and all that. And then, you know, same thing like you know, I'm going through the footage and I'm like, these dudes are here every day. These got this footage I got of a homie who just showed up randomly for a session, goes into the friend's part, B-roll, you know, just hijinks and all that stuff. You put like same thing, logging it, just like you were saying.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm just logging footage and seeing what I could keep, what I could put in another edit, who's cool with it, who's not cool with it. Yeah. And then sometimes it's like you kind of have to overwrite people in a certain way. You'd be like, hey, can I use this clip for this and that? I'd be like, nah, only, and I'll give my reasoning. I'll be like, nah, just because like I like this clip, one, and I feel like it would be really good for like your part, you know?
It's going to be part of your part. It's not like it's not being used for, you know, like just
even
anything.
if it takes a while. And I always give them the option, like I could do like a little YouTube edit and we could have the link private if we want to send it out to a rep or something, you know, or like so they could kind of see it. So,
right. Just to let them know that they're working on something. If they have any sponsors or anything, they're like, hey, dude, like, are you doing anything? Because a lot of times now, I hate to say it, but they're all looking at your numbers now on your social media. So
definitely,
it's not really how really talented you are. It's more how popular can you be too, you know?
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways too. And
that's true. That's
true.
It's like, but I like the fact that you're doing it because, like, you know, you're more of a local skater in a way that you care about the project more. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, and the clips, like you said, like you were saying earlier, like you're like if you take somebody to a spot. And there's already something been done by somebody, a pro. Who cares, right? Yeah, let's get your clip because you got it. You got that trick. Let's get it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of always that's something. I'm pretty sure like in the full length video I dropped, there's probably like a couple ABDs, but I'm like I don't care. Like it's skateboarding, like you know I'm not pro or whatever.
As long as the angle's good and it goes good with the part and like music too. Like do they have a chance to pick their music or?
Yeah, so I give everybody like an option to pick their own music. The people that are like, I don't know what song to choose, I kind of already have something in my head where like these are the songs I think you'd like. Yeah. And then I'll put it to the video and then I'll shoot them like this is how it's kind of running, you know.
Yeah,
and then
how it kind of unfolding there, and because a lot of times some people could be like, well, I don't know, and you're like, but look at the part, and they go, oh wow, it really works.
And it just depends too. I've like when it comes to music, it's kind of like I let the homies like choose your like song or whatever because you worked on it, you should have the privilege. Until if they tell me like I don't know what to choose, you choose for me. I'm like, all right, well these are the songs I think would look great. And he's like, oh okay, cool. Like I understand now. Like this is how you see it, and I really like it how you put it.
It's gotta fit the whole video.
Yeah, and it has to fit the video and their part, and vice versa. So
did you watch the Baker Has a Death Wish too?
I did like the first 30 minutes, and I was like, all right, I'll watch this like later. And I come back and it's taken down from YouTube. I'm like, well, and then I know it's back up, so I gotta finish it. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some music.
Probably music copyrights because I know YouTube's strict on that. Like you know, you can throw up something and then all of a sudden they either mute the song out or like you'll just get flagged right away.
I think it was from what I saw, it was a Journey song. Somebody used Journey. Yeah. And there's another song. I was kind of surprised that they used like big name bands.
Yeah. There was like they used the song Mandy, and I was tripping, dude. I was because to me the music was kind of everywhere. You know what I mean? And like I remember being younger and skate videos, like the music kind of like made everything about the video too. Like it made me go and listen to those artists. Yeah. You know, because of somebody's part.
And that's something that I think the only thing I'm a stickler on is kind of like if they use a song that I kind of already know that's been used, but it's kind of like skating, where in the sense is like people are gonna kind of use your stuff or use their music and not know it. Right. But like I guess for me, I remember the homie, the guys that were at Wanna Grove Park, they did another Summer Days. I think it was Summer Days 2. And they used Goodbye Horses by QR Lazarus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of can't see that because it's like I resonated with Mark Johnson, you know? Right. But now that I'm older, I'm kind of like, oh, well, it's kind of cool. I think of Mark Johnson, and I also think of the video that they did too. Yeah. You know? But at the time when I was a kid, I was like, no, you can't be doing that. That's lame. And I'm like, now I'm older. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's kind of cool because it does bring back like a memory, you know, and it's really tight. But other than that, when it comes to like artists, big name artists, I feel like a lot of people aren't really like looking into music. Like people say they like music, but are you looking into like all the genres of it? And stuff?
like you're tapping into like if you like QR Lazarus, you're tapping into other music that are him. Are you listening to the rest of his albums? Yeah, not just that one popular song that they made or. Like
or even the subgenres and stuff, you know. So yeah, and that's why I'm always kind of like, I really like editing videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, if I have the full creative control of the edit of like the homie section or just an edit I'm gonna throw up, I love like throwing up random songs into it or just like throwing unconventional songs where you're like, oh, I wouldn't think about that, you know. Or I'll put in like the more standard, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like he put this song with these people, you know, because it kind of goes with their vibe, you know.
Yeah, that's
true. It's always kind of very fun to kind of do that too. So I'm like really, I like how skating and music are just like one in one together.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that guy was like, he's like a kind of a, you know, heshy skater, and then he used Mandy, and you're like, it just, to me it didn't fit. Like, but I mean, it had the buildup in the song in certain parts where you're like, I could see where they're going with this, but I was like, I don't know.
But it's also kind of like music licensing is probably a big thing too.
For sure.
I've noticed a lot when I get older is like, oh, why they take these parts down?
Is there a way around that on YouTube? Is there a way to use the music without?
I've found a way around it, but it takes time because they have to go through it. But I always put, this is a non-profit video. Yeah. The moment I put non-profit is the moment. Anytime I've had a strike, it gets taken away and I get my music back. Like I used a Gravedigger song, you know, with Wu-Tang, how they had Gravediggers. Yeah. I used that 1-800-Suicide song, and then they took it away from me and gave it back to me once I put that it was non-profit. But it fit good with the edit. And I'm like, I don't know any other song to put this edit, and it just went perfect.
Yeah.
Now, where do you put that? Like in the descriptions, or where do you write that? Like how do you let them know?
I think when you upload it, you have like, oh, non-profit, or you could go back and edit your video, be like, hey, this is a non-profit on the YouTube site. But
I know Instagram does it. They'll strike you, and then they'll hit you with the message, and it says, if you want to appeal, click here. And then you just go in the little section and you type, and it says, "Do you have any comments or concerns, or why are you?" Or, you know, you put your description of what you're appealing, and you go, "Oh, this is just pure fun, you know, skateboarding, just friends and having fun." And then it was a non-profit.
Yeah, okay.
And then that's it, and that's all I put. And then, like, I mean, that video took a month to get approved, but in a month it popped back up onto my Instagram, and it was like everyone could see it again.
Yeah, dude, Instagram has been hitting a lot of my videos now. Like I go back to them, there's like, it's just blank.
Blank. How I kind of go around that is that non-profit one's actually pretty good. I'll probably have to go back because I think I do have not a strike, but there's like a copyright on the main video that I have. But it was on for the 3-6 Mafia song. I forgot what song it was, but how I kind of go around it is that I always put like, you know how it's monetization and stuff like that. I don't monetize any of the videos. I don't make money off of it. So like that kind of helps me out. Leave it there longer, and as long as you're using songs that aren't too popular, you're cool. And then what I also do too is when you search up the song, you know, like YouTube downloader and stuff, you want to search up the YouTube version of it, and then you download it because YouTube thinks like, oh, this is just from the same video that he gets it from. You know, like it's from that same YouTube video, so you should be okay. And then you put it in your edit and you should be fine. And also kind of like having your skate sound higher than the music. Yeah. Right. So that's another way. So it
kind of throws off that they can't hear something.
Yeah, they can't hear something.
The one that I got away with was like a Biggie song because in the beginning of the song there's like a whole skit in front of the song and then halfway through that song the music starts. So I think because the song starts in the middle, it didn't know to flag it because it's already, you know, they probably know where to capture it in the first 10 seconds.
Also, it's like another thing is like fading in and fading out stuff helps out a lot too. Yeah. So you could do that, or even cutting music here and there, where like you cut the start or the end.
I thought about trying to do my own little edits now, like making like, you know, putting like little sounds in there, like maybe even like, you know, little clips of you know, just a sound bite in the middle of the song, you know. Like I was thinking about doing that with because I wasn't sure if that the edit I made with Brooks with that big board.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was gonna get flagged because I used the Dr. Dre instrumental.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
well, I think instrumentals have a little bit more leeway because they're made by producers and they're always like, you know, free, come and grab them. And then when the big guys come and see something, they'll be like, I'm gonna pay just to exclusively have that.
Yeah.
And then copyrights have just like patents. They have a timeline before they expire.
Yeah, they expire.
And then they're free to the public.
Yeah. So that's kind of the way I think about it too, where it's like, oh, like what can I use? And also it goes back to music where I'm like, I know there's a song like this. I got to keep on looking for it. Yeah. I don't like when people are like, music's so whack, this and that. And I'm like, my brother, like you search up your own music, you know? We're in an age of like, we have like Apple Music, Spotify. Like you don't have to listen to the radio. There's other artists that like, you like, if you like Wu-Tang, then like there's somebody of the subsection that like is coming up that are like Wu-Tang. Or like if you like Dr. Dre, there's somebody on the West Coast that is like him, you know? You just got to look for it because there's a lot of influence and a lot of inspiration behind it. So somebody's going to pick that up and they're going to do their own rendition of it. So that's why I never liked when people are like, music's so whack nowadays. I'm like, but you're searching up your own music. You're just paying attention to those type of people, you know? Why don't you pay attention to the stuff that you like?
Yeah, there's too much negativity out there. If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Pretty much,
Find the stations that you listen to, because I know my stations, they don't play me the stuff I don't want to hear.
We should just bring classical music into skating. Start playing some Bach, Mozart, Moonlight Sinatra to skating.
Somebody did something like that. I forgot who it was, but it was sick though. I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting too.
Hey, some of that stuff goes hard. Like I've sat there and I thought about it. If you put some classical onto an electric guitar with the pedal, you straight up just get some either death metal, punk, or something. Pretty much. Some crazy riffs out of that.
For sure, man. But like. Music, dude. To me, it's everything in the video.
Yeah, it is definitely for me too. So
yeah. All right. Do you listen to music while you're skating or even filming?
When I was younger, yes, I would listen to music. But as I get older, I'm kind of just vibing. I don't want to listen to music. Also, too, it's like a respect thing, I guess, because I don't want to be that people were like, hey, like, hey, what's up? And then they're like,
what?
I was like, oh, what's up? You know. And I've had a homie that done it. It's like, hey, like. Why don't you do this? And then he just rolls away, and I realize he has AirPods.
Yeah.
So I don't. When I was younger, I would listen. Now I kind of don't.
Since it says, you know, we're gonna keep talking about the filming. What about like I don't mind people, you know, in the skate park. What about if you're filming street? Like, do you like it? And then they have either the dangles or the wires.
AirPods or.
So
what do you think of that? Does it bother you or no? I think me personally, I don't mind it in the skate park, but if you're doing an actual video part, I don't want to see that. I want to see you kind of like
focused and everything.
I feel for like the most part, anyone who films a street part. I mean, I feel for like the most part, anyone who films a street part. I've never really ever seen someone rocking headphones while filming a street part.
Maybe
I do it all the time. Nigel. I rock. You just need to get hyped for the. You know, you're scared to try a trick. You put it on and you get in your zone.
TJ Rogers, he was wearing the
big ones.
The big ones, yeah. To me, it doesn't really matter. I feel like it's kind of like very a nitpicky thing, but I'm always kind of like, it's cool, like as long as you get your clip, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
What's kind of great now with AirPods, it's kind of like they're so small you can't really see them. That it does benefit everybody else.
Yeah.
In terms of filming, like if I'm filming and I'm listening to music, I don't like that because I feel like I'm the one always on like trucha, like I have to be aware of everything.
You have to be in tune with like who's coming up. Yeah. Is there security?
Even people rolling, like if you're in the streets, you want to be hearing for cars.
Yeah, and you gotta be super aware of it. What kind of sucks though is like I have great listening. I'm always like, oh, my ears perk and stuff, but my vision's so bad. I'm like, I wear glasses to drive, but like I should be taking it out on a session or something, but I just don't because I got so used to listening.
Contacts, man.
I'm always scared of just like touching my eye. I'm like,
you know, everyone I've talked to the tinted glasses, like I was just talking to homie today. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I gotta wear glasses now, and I have to have the old man string, and everything when I'm skating. But I was like, what's up with Con? He's like, Same thing. He's like, I had an incident where they went up, dude, and they got stuck. And I'm like, everyone always talks about like
that happened to me too. I freaked out when I fell asleep with them on, and when I woke up, it was like behind my, up there, and I kind of freaked out. But all you have to do is kind of try to look as far back as you can in your head, and then it'll grab it. And it started, and it was folded, and it was like scratching me. I was like, oh no.
See, that's why I'm kind of like.
But that was, I don't know. I think I rubbed my eye and it just shoved it up, and I was like, man, dude, you got to be careful with that. Like you have to rub your eye like outwards. It's a whole thing. But I like them better than glasses because when I'm skating, like you said, like they could slip off and fall when, especially when you're sweating. Or what I hated was as soon as you stop skating, they just fog up. Yeah. And you can't see nothing. You're like, oh damn. You have to keep moving to get the air through.
Who was it? The guy that hard flipped the 20 in San Diego. He used to ride for Enjoy. His name's like Enzo.
Enzo?
Yeah. He has like
the glasses?
Glasses. He has like not prescription glasses, but they're tinted, so they look like sunglasses.
Yeah.
But he's always wearing them, and people are like, "Why don't you take
transition?
them?" Yeah, I was like, "Why don't you take them off?" I was like, "These are actually my glasses." So like when he's actually doing a trick, he has them on for the most part, and I always thought it was sick because it gave me like, it feels like Brian Herman, when he used to
when he used to wear just shades all day.
Yeah, and he just wear shades because he was like tossed the whole day, or he was faded the whole day. But it was cool.
I wear it because like I have actual like sun damage in my eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the doctor always says, "Hey, dude, like the eye doctor is like, you should wear sunglasses, like out in the sun because you're getting this damage." I'm like, all right, well. And plus, light I'm sensitive to. Like that's why I mostly wear these glasses during the show and out in the skate parks because those concretes. The sun just beams off those concretes, man. I was like,
That's why I started, like, when we were younger, I started buying, like, half airs because I'm the same way, like, you see me outside in the street, I'm squinting all day. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's bright.
And then also, I need to, like, buy some blue light tints because I work from home, so I'm kind of like...
I'm on the screen all day?
I'm, like, at the screen, and when it's on my lunch break, I'm like, what? I'm going to go outside, I'm going to hit a park. Like, I hate being... inside for too long. Like it's a blessing to work from home, but like I also kind of like, what, it's my lunch break, I'm gonna go skate for like an hour and then come back.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you get to work from home.
Yeah. So
all right, that's pretty rad. Any dream spot you want to go to?
Damn, that's actually a good question. I don't know if I have a dream spot. Like if there's something I would want to go.
How about travel anywhere, like out of the country? Take your boys and get some clips.
I actually saw the edit when they went to Mexico.
Okay.
So when Thrasher did that Sodi trip and it was like Miles and like P-Rod and everybody was out there. I think for a dream spot / travel skate type of vibe, I definitely would want to do like Mexico City. Copenhagen. Copenhagen's another one. When they do Copenhagen Pro, I would definitely do that. And then there's another one that happens around Copenhagen.
Do you like when there's like a good like background scene for your shots and stuff like that, like the buildings? And
I think it just depends on the situation. So if we have plenty of time at a spot, then I'd be like, let me do cinematic, let me be this and that, Right. But
if you're trying to get the clip,
if we're trying to get the clip and we know there's security or like the homie just really wants to get the clip, I'm like, all right, let's just get it. Like it's better like that
because you could always could always come later too. Like in certain areas, you don't always have to try to capture like a pigeon flying away after the lines of trick, you know what I mean?
That stuff does come later, so it's like I'm not even Ty Evans either, so I'm like I can't do all like the technical stuff, so I'm like very like point and shoot, let's go film type of thing. But
or like Beagle when he sees like just a bag floating,
just filming it.
Dude, yeah.
I kind of been tapping into that side of my filming right now. Like even yesterday, like when I was filming these guys at a bench, I was like, I seen a bush and I just like the colors in it.
Yeah.
And it just looks so nice when I would start the bush and transition into them, just popping into the ledge.
Yeah.
And the video that I have, like there's when I'm transitioning from skater to skater, I always put like hijinks in the middle, you know what I mean? So to kind of make it like
breaks it up.
Breaks it up and kind of do that because I like the way how things are being filmed, but I wish that in terms of the industry, I wish there was more better like breakups in terms of like, all right, like, this guy
B-roll and stuff.
Yeah, like first part cool done, B-roll, and then second person, And then I'm okay with them not adding their names, but
I hate that.
Yeah, so it just depends. It just really depends though. So it just like how because I know for me, I didn't add the names on it because it was like a homie video.
Yeah,
right.
But I understand that they know who they are. But then some people are like, "Who is that?" And I kind of think about it, I'm like maybe I should have added it, but at that time, I felt like I didn't have a lot of time because I was already in the midst of editing. I already had the location, the Frida Theater in Santa Ana. So I was like, damn, I can't like, if I were gonna put like the names and stuff, I want to be like proper and presented. And another thing too is like spelling the people's names right. I'm horrible at spelling, so that's why I'm like, I don't know.
Thing, like, especially for the show, man. Right? I was like,
we're on the same boat. Every time we do an episode, I text him, "How do you spell the name?" And I'm like,
sometimes I'll put it. It'll be his friend, so I'll think that he doesn't. He knows it. He should know how to spell his friend's name right, and then he spells it twice different. Yeah. Like he spelled it, it'll be in the title one way and then in the description another. I'm like,
or like they have like a nickname and you like just don't know their name. Like you guys had Chili, like his name's been Chili for me forever. I know his I know his real name, but like
he wouldn't give us his real name.
I know it, but I'm not gonna give it out either.
I always know him as Rusty or Dangle Boomhammer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No,
Rusty Shackelford.
It's funny because like the first time I went to a park and he actually was the one that's like, hey, like he came up to me, we're talking. He's like, oh, you're filming? He's like, yeah. I was like, you think I could film with you guys? I'm like, yeah, come on along. So, I've only known him as Chili, and I'm like, it's been Chili forever. And then one day he's like, oh, this is like I forgot what happened. Like I think he posted something, and it showed his name, and then he deleted it. He's like, oh, I posted it with my name, and he scribbled it out, and I'm like. I replied. I was like, "Oh, I saw it," but I was like, "I'm not gonna give it out to anybody."
Yeah. But that's funny. You're like, "I know it."
I don't. I'm not like, "Oh, I know it." I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of know it." And people are always kind of like, "What is it? What is it?" I'm like, "Oh, it's not for me to say." It's
it's if he wants to tell you, he'll tell you.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, people have nicknames and you don't like know it, or like sometimes you even just only know them as their
Instagram,
IG. Yeah,
that's how a lot of people.
And then before that, like I remember, I don't know why I did this, but like. I had like my Instagram connected to like, you know how Instagram makes you your own Facebook?
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to put my name in there. But for the longest time, it was always Raw Dog. And people just only knew me as Raw Dog. Yeah. And still to this day, every once in a while.
You know what's funny? My roommate's nickname is Raw Dog too.
How my nickname kind of came about was like,
Is it YouTube friendly?
I'm sure. No, it is YouTube friendly. It is. It's nothing like too crazy.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
How it kind of came about was I would play before I got into skating, I was really into sports. So like I played baseball, basketball, what else? Soccer every once in a while. I was always in these intramural like sports programs in like the city of Anaheim.
Yeah.
I had a coach. He would be like, "Oh, Rob Dog," and my first time hearing it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, whatever."
Yeah.
And then as I got into skating and I got more integrated with the guys that Wanna Grove Park, there's a guy named Chris, and I wasn't too good at skating. I was like still kind of on the come up when I met everybody. I was always falling on my ass, and he called me Rob, but like RAWBUTT.
Uh-huh.
And then one day, like one of the homies like, why don't we just call you Raw Dog? And then I was like, at first I was like, I kind of feels weird because I know the implications of it, but he's like, nah, just do it. And then when I made my Instagram, I'm like,
you don't got a choice.
And then I was like, all right, cool. So I kind of stuck with it too. And it's funny, like people are like, why do they call you Raw Dog? And I'm like, oh, it's very friendly story to tell. But and people always think the other way, and I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, and the women are like, wait, what?
It's funny that they actually like it. It's like, I did just a funny name. I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's like.
Is that why you also used it for like? I know you call your little brand Raw Dog. What is it, 666?
Oh, it's like 6 dog, 6 pound 6. And at that time, I still remember how that was made. Was like, so me and the homie Andy, people also knew him, again, another nickname, Tuna. We were filming, and then we were just like, we got one clip for the video, and it's still the very first clip. And I was like, I don't know what to call this video. Like, I really don't know. And he was like, why don't you just call it Dog Pound? And I'm like, oh, sick. Like, I'm super down to use that. Because, like, he told me, he's like, you're Raw Dog.
Yeah.
You're, like, with the dogs. I was like, why don't you just call it Dog Pound? I'm like, all right, cool. As I was, like, stacking clips for it, I realized, like, I had a lot of clips for the video. And some of them I wasn't going to use. And I did an edit, right? Mm-hmm. But then I started thinking about it, like, you know what? It would be cool if I just post single clips, tag the person, and then so they could see their clips on Instagram. And I'll guess I'll just, like, put, like, 6 dog pound 6 pound 6 as a placeholder. Like, it was just a placeholder. I didn't think much of it. So when I started doing that, people were like, oh, like, is this a brand or what is this? And I'm like, I just don't know. I'm just posting the clips for the homies so they could see how it looks.
Right.
And then as it kind of snowballed into something bigger, and I had the idea one day where I was like on Google, I found like a little dog brand. I'm like, oh, I like this. You know, I'm gonna modify it a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of fuck around with it. Once I did that, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do stickers.
I remember that because you were working at Family Sports, right?
Yeah, off of Valley View down the street for like, how long ago was that? Like,
ooh, it's been a minute. Like,
yeah,
5 or 6 years
yeah,
ago.
I remember you would come around, you would get.
I bought those boards that are on the wall right there.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I bought those 3 boards. That's why I hung them up. Yeah,
Um,
I probably got more than that, but
Fucking Wheel of Fortune status.
I do remember you coming by. I still remember like you'd always ask like, "Hey, like, are we getting that? What was it? Osiris's? You're really into that for a cool minute."
Osiris, yeah. 'Cause that's why I used to skate. So that's why I was like, I remember the big bulky shoes.
Yeah.
Skate show with the D3s.
No, it wasn't like the D3 Osiris. It was like the newer ones where they're like, how's it? How would you describe them? Like,
I don't know. They were still got the big tongue.
They were like,
they were a little thinner out, but
kind of like
I think I wanted the Rodney Mullins.
the Ronnies, yeah, and then
because they were like they were like green and white. So I remember like having like I was like green.
and then Circas, the Lopez.
Circas. I would buy DVS's.
DVS's when we had them for a little bit. Yeah, that was but yeah.
And then I realized real quick those don't last.
Trust me, it's like you want to support skater owned sometimes, but
they were cheap. Like,
yeah,
I mean, for the money, I guess you're gonna get what you get. You
Yeah, pretty much. And that's something I kind of realized, like as I get older, is like you pay what you get, so might as well just ball out a little bit. You know, you can't take the money with you when you die. It's like
and then once I found like S came back,
yeah,
I was super hyped, dude. I was like, this is what it's about, man.
There's some S models I've been really wanting to try out, and I might buy some, but I gotta. Yeah. I've been on my money saving this year, like high yield savings and all that stuff. Got to be like very financially smart. So
right. So I want to get back to so you started making stickers.
Yeah, so I started making stickers. I was like, all right, cool. I made some T-shirts. Haley from Teal Press did them when she had her shop. And for those that don't know, Haley's mom's like Patty McGee. So she's the you ever see the girl that's like on the skater, like she's skating?
Wasn't she the
Time magazine?
Dogtown or something too?
I think so, but her like this is all like skate oriented too. So she did my shirts. When I had the first one of shirts, I call them the bootlegs because it's like I made a super small amount. And I was cool with the guys at Legends Fullerton. And I think I asked Brian, he was running it. He was like, hey, like, would you be down to carry some shirts? And he's like, yeah, I'm down. He carried it. And he was like, yeah, your stuff sold out. I'm like, oh, for real? I was tripping because I was like, I don't think people wanted it. I'm like, it's just a simple logo and stuff. So sold out. And I'm like, oh, man, I got to do more runs of shirt. Because Brian was like, hey, you need to make more because it's actually sells. And I'm like, shit, like I gotta do something. I gotta make shit. So I started doing the shirts, and then I made another batch. I gave it to Brian, and then Zach from 88 was running a skate shop, Legends Downey at that time. And he hit me up. He was like, yo, you're doing shirts? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, let me bring some over. I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm in 2 shops, like I guess I have to keep on going with this and like actually learn how to like finance, like how to run T-shirts and see where I could do sourcing and stuff like that.
They get a cut as well of having them on their shelf, or they're just doing it for homie love?
So what happens is because since I've been working at Family for so long and doing invoices and stuff like that, I see how they kind of operate. And like I was like, hey, this is at cost. I give it to them at cost, and then they sell it at the market, like any other store too. And then I know how to. I started making invoices and stuff like that, and like emailing it to them or bringing by and just double checking and stuff. So like I got really into the business side of it just because I was working at the skate shop and I saw everything. So it started like that, and then like it kind of slowly built up more and more. I'm like, damn, like now like they want more product, and I had to start. I've always liked doing shirt designs and stuff because I'm always around that. I was at the skate shop, so to me it's like I'm already very opinionated on clothes. I'm like, this is kind of whack, or this is cool. I wish they would have done this, or like now that I'm doing it, it's like, all right, I have my own say. I could kind of think. But the thing is, I always ask other people around me, like, you think this is cool? You think this is whack? Is this cool? Do you like it? You know, and I'm always asking that, and then I kind of
have that person who's gonna tell you the truth, and I'll just be like, yeah, do this.
Yeah, like I'd rather have a homie tell me like their opinion and be like, nah, this is whack. And I'm like, oh, why? You know, I'm not gonna take offense to it. I'm like, all right, cool, that's cool. So I got into Legends Downey, and then Fullerton at that time, and then the dude from Contenders, Dylan, was like, hey, like I made these Gwen Stefani shirts. Like, hey, you did these shirts? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let me bring it to the shop. And then at that time, Dylan was working at Contenders in Orange, and that's how I got into Contenders in Orange. So my stuff is there, and then it just kind of slowly got a little bit bigger, you know, and I was kind of like, oh, like I got to keep on doing this, and I got to like keep on pursuing it because it's cool. Fun, you know.
Yeah. And if people are buying it, so that,
yeah, and if you see on my Instagram page, like I don't really promote products; it's just all skate clips because I want the skating to do the talking, and like I rather have that. The products and stuff is like a secondary. I don't want to have it. I don't want to bank on it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make hella money. I'm like, oh, I'm just doing it, just do it, you know. Like, but yeah, right now I'm in 7 shops, so I'm in 88 Skate Supply in La Habra. Zach was the one that really like showed the first love outside of like Brian from Fullerton, because I used to work at Legends Fullerton for a bit before going to Family. Okay. Because they're all like very the same company. So it was Zach 88 right now. 88 Skate Supply in La Habra. He has my stuff. Contenders in Orange and Chino. They put some in the Chino store. Some stuff in Legends Downey, I think. I gotta double check on that. Family Sports, actually, the shop that I work at. Nadas in Santa Ana, and then Icon Board Shop in Oxnard. Damn. So 7 shops, I believe.
Damn, Oxnard?
Yeah, the Brian. Cool, man. They closed down Legends Fullerton because like some leasing issue or property with the management, and Brian was like, like, you know what? He moved to Oxnard because he had another cousin that was running a shop there, and then he took over Icon, and then he's like, hey, shoot some stuff over here. So that's how I kind of got it up there. So
that's so rad cool, that they still want to put your product on the shelf, man.
Well, if it sells, I'm like, cool. Like, I don't want to sell things that like I don't think like this whack, you know. And I started learning how to do everything like emailing, sourcing, and stuff. I haven't really reached out to any other LA shop. Well, Downey's in LA, but I haven't reached out to like deep in LA and stuff, because I rather build a connection and a relationship first than like being those guys that'd be like, hey, what's up? I have a brand. Because working at Family, I've had so many people come by, and I'm like, all right, let me see your lookbook. And they don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, do you have an invoice? And they don't know what I'm talking about, you know? It's kind of like you kind of have to learn it. Yeah. And then kind of go about it. But for me, it's like relationship first. I'd rather be like, have a recognition of like, hey, what's up? Like, how you been? You know, like, have you been skating and stuff? I'd rather do that first and like business second, even third maybe.
I feel like that always comes into like good effect, you know, just coming in and being like, hey, what's up, man? How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. But like I always tell people, like, you know, build that relationship with someone, because just even asking them, say that the last time you talked to them, they told you, oh, I was going through some stuff, and you go, hey, how's everything going? Last time I talked to you, you know, you're going through something. Is everything good now? You know? Yeah. I feel like that makes someone feel more like this dude cares. Yeah. And it's true though, because if you truly care, you know, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna check in on my people. I'm gonna make sure my people are doing good.
Yeah, and that's something I kind of really wanted to do. Is like, I rather be more about the relationship for the skate shops, because when you're young, you go to a skate shop, that's where all the cool stuff is at. Yeah. Sure. And my thing has always been like, I'd rather be in a skate shop first and kind of show the love of that, because that's where I started, and that's where all the cool stuff is. You know, that's where a lot of fashion stuff happens from the skaters that kind of do it. Like, you know, you always hear that saying, skaters rule the world, rule the world. And
we've said it before here on the show. Yeah, like, and it's true. We start trends, and people follow the trends, man, and that's what everybody out there is looking at. You know, especially for social media, they're like, what are the kids into right now? Yeah. And then they go with that.
And it's always they fall off the skaters. You know, like we started the whole tight pants thing. Mm-hmm. We went from the tight pants to like what, cargos,
Dickies.
I seen a little kid yesterday with like some raver, like big pants.
Oh, the Jenkos?
Yeah, he was wearing the Jenkos.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I remember having pants like that, dude.
But yeah, it's all
too crazy.
It's all trending, and I have the website too, that I used via Shopify. So like I did that, and then I do all the photo shoots too myself, since I have a DSLR. It's like, why can't I do that? Like, why can't I do a little bit of everything? Yeah. Right. But I'm more hyped when I get a sale at a skate shop rather than like on my own website, because I for sure like to know that like, oh, people are actually going in, they're seeing it and fucking with it.
Yeah, because a lot of times if they already know you, they're supporting you. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, this is the homies. Oh, let me buy something from the homie. But when you got somebody purchasing from a skate shop, I feel like you're like, that's a stranger. Yeah. That thinks your stuff is cool.
Yeah, that it's always kind of sick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I think I've had that
experience. You're making the wheels turn in my head. I'm like, can we get our stuff in a skate shop? Or my skate show stuff? But I got to think of something more, because like when I was doing my skate show apparel, it doesn't feel like it was cool, but it was like, it's me though. It's not like a brand, you know, like a name, like Nike or whatever, you know, like it's like for everybody. Like skate show is just kind of just me. Yeah. So like I wanted to do something, but like with the name, like I was thinking of trying to do this one thing that says Skate Show Heart Out. Yeah. You know, just kind of play on words with it, you know, or skate your ass off. You know, like something like that. Just make shirts that are funny. Yeah. And maybe those will sell, but I like when people see the name and they go, well, I want to be part of that. You know, it feels like they could be part of that.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the brand identity stuff. It's funny because it's all this stuff I learned from like going to school, and I'm like, oh wow, I actually use this implicating in real life. Brand identity is like a very big thing. It's like, as long as you have a strong logo and you're cool with it, and it's applicable to a lot of things, like you put it on a hat, you can put it on a t-shirt, you could put it anywhere, and have a cheap cost for embroidery, then you should be okay, you know. And as long as you want to have it broad but not too specific, because when I see another brand that they're doing something out over in like OC, and their branding is way too specific, and they only could do so much with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, as long as you have something that's kind of broad, where you could kind of tap around a little bit with everything, you have a lot of wiggle room. It's perfect, you know. But if you're too specific on certain niches, then that's gonna be a little difficult, unless you have a game plan and you have a content ready to go and stuff. But yeah, so 7 skate shops. I forgot to shout out to Program in Fullerton too, because they have my stuff in there too. So, yeah, all of it just came from relationships, just doing it, and then me working on the video. It just kind of became something like it just became like just a brand. And I don't really like to think of it as a brand, because it's like I don't have a team or anything. It's just homies that go skate. Because when you have a team, you got to be like super specific and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'd rather just be like, if I'm filming with you, we get a clip. Congrats, you're on the team. It
kind of reminds me a little bit of like Old Man Skate Crew. How they started their Instagram, and it just blew up from there.
Yeah. And
then so they go, okay. And then people started asking for shirts and stuff like that. So they had the demand. So that's kind of cool how it kind of progressed naturally.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same way as here. It's like I started the Instagram, posted up the clips that I was going to use, or like if I already posted the edit, I'll post the clips just to kind of promote the edit.
Right. And then see the full video over here.
Yeah, see the full video. Now with Instagram, you can put the full video, but kind of building up content. Because what I also see from a lot of like brands is kind of like they start a brand, but then they have no content for like 3 weeks, and it's like nothing.
Yeah,
you know,
they should be prepared, ready to go. Yeah, with everything.
Like, the only reason why I haven't posted a lot on mine, I do keep it up with the stories, but every once in a while. But why I haven't posted is because I'm like logging the footage, and then I'm like, all right, I want to post the edit as the next one, and then after that edit, I'll go back to my regular scheduling, like posting, you know. So
I think less is more sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like if you just give it away on Instagram, that's like
well, I mean,
there's nothing to surprise and hit people over the head.
I mean, I don't think he's saying he's giving it away. He's saying it's more like he's logging. He's more sitting there and being like, this is gonna go towards the video. This is gonna be the content, and he's gonna do enough to keep the Instagram active, so when the full video does come out, there's a good following for the video.
Yeah, that's what I did for the first .com video. Was like, that was kind of the reasoning why I did it. So kind of people would be like, oh, okay, cool. And also it's like, I'm not shouting anybody. I'm shouting out the skater that's in the clip. Most of all the clips that you see on the Instagram is just all filmed by me.
Yeah.
Even my full length videos, like I filmed and edited it for most part. I think there's 1 or 2 clips that a homie probably filmed in there, but other than that, it's like I all filmed it. And all that stuff. So
do you have a partner yourself?
Nah, dude. I was like so in like
filmer mode.
I was like, I can't get anything. I'm just like, I want to get this thing out and done out the way. Maybe I'm not gonna throw it out there because I don't want to be like, I've gotten like, I was gonna say like, oh, I should do a part this year. I'm like, nah, you know what? I'd rather just keep on filming and pushing.
I mean, I asked because I'm going through the same issue in my own head, because I'm trying to put a project together. I want to film a part 2, but it's like 90% of the time it's like I'm stuck filming because I'm like I don't think you're gonna film it the way I see it in my head. So I'm like and like the homies will be like, let me film for you, and I'll be like, I'm just like I was like, and I mean I could sit here and tell you, but you're not gonna get it the way it should be done.
Yeah, and I've kind of, when I was younger, I was thinking like, wow, like how, because I was never the best in the group or whatever. I just love skating. And it wasn't until my best friend Alberto was like, hey, can you help me film a part? And I just bought a GoPro at the time. So I filmed the part with a GoPro. And that's how I kind of fell in love with skateboarding or fell in love with skateboarding filming. And then as I got better with it, I started learning cameras and like all this other stuff and equipment and whatever. I'm like, oh, I want to get more into it because this is how a lot of skate videos are made. And at that time too, like there wasn't a prominent filmer in Anaheim that like you could be so accessible to hit up. So because we had another dude named Aldrich, but he's already like had his own thing going on, you know. So I was like of age of what in my age group, we're like, oh, let's hit up Robert. He has a camera, we can film. And then
That's so cool that you're available like that to these guys, because I mean a lot of these guys don't have filmers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's the hardest thing to get somebody, and to coordinate and to be able to meet up and have everybody on the same page.
It's funny because I still like I never thought of myself of like, oh, I have to coordinate stuff, but as my filming progression got better and better, I realized I have to be that communicator and I have to like coordinate with a lot of people and stuff, and then being the vocal voice, so like, nah, let's not do this, or let's do this on this day. It's like, oh, training today, like, why don't we do somewhere else or whatever, like
underground
or under,
like,
yeah.
I remember one time where my homie is like, can you film me a clip at I think it was La Habra High, those blue ledges on in the little plaza, and he's like, I'm gonna get a clip today, and I was like, all right, cool. So I got there before him. It like rained the day before, so I went with the blower, and there were some wet spots. I fucking dried up the whole spot before he got there. Everything was dry, ready to go. I had the wax and everything, whatever he needed, just so he could be prepared. He didn't have to worry about anything when he got to the spot, but just to get the trick done. Yeah. And some guy was like walking his dog, and he's like, he's watching me with the blower, going, "What the hell are you doing, blowing these little puddles away?" And I'm like. And then he sees the camera and he sees like my backpack. He's like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna set up to film a trick. And he goes, man, he's like, I've never seen somebody like really dedicated, like prepare, spot, like, you know. And then I was like, oh yeah, this guy wants this trick done, and I gotta. And then I love to like for me personally, I don't like when they get it first try. It's dope. Yeah. But I got like with the GoPro, you can watch it back. Yeah. So I could see like, oh, okay, like I need to make this adjustment here, this adjustment there. Okay, I didn't get the full body in the shot of this. Yeah, you know,
like you want to get better at your filming.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I gotta step back a little bit. Okay, now I want to move here. This is how I see the trick, and I can see the board. I can see this, you know. And then depending on what you're shooting for too, like. If you're shooting for maybe shoe thing, you want to get the shoes in it. You know, it's all...
like it just depends on what you're trying to go for the most part. And for me, when it came to filming, because I started with the first GoPro, like no playback, no nothing. I had to buy the accessory and the attachment for it. So like I literally had I still have it in my room somewhere, but it was that, and then I bought a second GoPro, and I was like, all right, now I have two. I could do double angles, this and that, but. I was so enamored with like filming. I was like, how do I do like a long lens shot? How do I do this? Like, oh, there's different equipment, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And when I graduated high school in 2014, me and my mom were at Costco. I was like, oh, do you want a camera? And I'm like, oh, for real? He's like,
are you a skateboard now? Camera? Mom, you're killing it.
But everything else I had to work for. I had to work in the summers with my dad washing cars. That's all another.
I'm sure. Yeah.
That's all. I got a farmer's mean one too, actually. Sí, señor, soy de rancho. But my mom, we go and she's like, oh yeah, it's your like graduation gift or whatever. And like, as I see you really like skateboarding and stuff, and I want you to do something with it. And they had a deal where I still have the bag too. It was a bag, a 32 gigabyte SD card, a Nikon D33 with 2 lenses. I don't know the names professionally, honestly, but I call them like a short lens, and then the long lens what I used to film with. And it was like $500, and it was a Costco deal, and I was like, oh shoot, cool. So I got that, and the same homie Alberto was like, hey, you have like a camera now? And he's like, yeah, I do, like besides the GoPro ones. He's like, oh cool, like let's keep on filming. And then we kind of snowballed into that. Then I bought a fisheye I bought the Rokinon, and I still have it with me too to this day. That's just all the clips that I film on is on that Rokinon fisheye, which is 300. And then I bought like the caddy cam and then extra batteries and lights and stuff. Overall, like it came out to be like maybe close to like $900, but like at that time it was like a slow build up. I didn't buy everything.
Yeah, it's like it's like you worked your way up to one thing.
This whole show started with one little camera, man, and
now look at it.
Yeah. So it was we know over here, man.
It's funny because like when I had a GoPro, I would go film at the park because like I want to get better at this, and I was filming at my local park. And then when I got the camera, I was like, I want to get better at this too. So I would film at the park. So like I started at the park and then I built my way up. Like you even go on my YouTube and go all the way down, you'll see the very first videos I've ever done, and it's like GoPro, and then you see the quality get a little bit better and the editing and everything, and then you'll see it like, this is the progression. Yeah. So that's why I always tell kids, like, if you get a camera, just be at the park and learn your camera first before you take it somewhere else. So,
or I mean, the only way to learn is to just use it.
Yeah, use it pretty much.
Use it, and then you know. if you know what you're looking for
Yeah.
and what you want to capture, you'll learn to make the adjustments you need to make. Well, if you just point and shoot and you're like, oh, and there's no like, there's like, oh, I don't need it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I can even add on, like, if you have like a local filmer who's a filmer at your park, pick their brains, dude. Like, learn, go on sessions with them and see how they film or what their brain's going through. You know, like, cause I got blessed that I got to go sesh with like shop skaters or like shop filmers. Yeah. Like, and they I remember my first time filming was with the HVX. Oh, that thing was heavy. Yeah, dude. And I filmed this dude hauling over this gate gap, and I'm just like, he's all, and the filmers had me there. He's like, you want to try it? And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, stand here like this. When he comes in, because this fresh eye can get so much, because he had the extreme fish eye. He's all like, you can point and just you don't even have to look at the screen. He's like, you just point as long as you keep him centered. Yeah. You'll get him in there.
See, and that's something like we in Anaheim, which is weird. There's not a luxury of like a skate shop there, because we either had to go to Fullerton or Orange for a shop.
Fullerton, like
it would
Furnace, or
it would be like Legends, Program, Furnace, and then in Orange, I think Contender was like barely sprouting out. Yeah. Or Santa Ana, I forget the shop over there. I'm like, but Anaheim had no real skate shop. There is one called Algex, but it's not like a real skate shop. You know, it's kind of like they sell boards for dumb cheap, but like they don't have a team, they don't have a filmer and stuff. So a lot of the stuff I had to kind of learn by myself at the skate park and understand my camera and stuff, and then the homies' suggestions here and there where I kind of took it upon myself. I'm like, okay, cool. This is how I do it. This is how the editing works. This is how this goes by. So it's kind of like all of it. And I wouldn't say self-taught, but I kind of had to learn myself in a way where I'm like, okay, this is how I kind of take things. And then obviously like the Ride Channel too, they did like the whole thing with cameras and stuff like that where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I know how to, this is how they work it, or taking inspiration on my favorite skate videos. So I kind of, tight.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, because a lot of times like you go to YouTube and learn stuff here and there, but like you want to learn from the skaters how what they're doing, you know, especially if you like the way they're doing their thing, you know, because a lot of times now I you know, the kids nowadays, the way they point and shoot, like with the cell phones and the zoom in, the face, the feet, the face, the trick, I don't know, it's like gets all crazy. I like the old school look where you just got the skater in the shot and it's like low, you got the fisheye capturing everything.
Yeah, and I
no butt shots, you know what I mean? Like, stay away from the butt shots.
To me, it's for filming and stuff. I kind of like doing a little mixture of both. Like, I do like the William Strobeck, like zoom in face, then zoom out. But then I kind of learned how to tweak it where I'm like, I could zoom in on their face, but the main objective is, or their feet. Like, main objective is like, as long as I zoom out and I get the spot while they're doing it, that's fine. I'm not trying to like clip somebody, you know? Like, I like taking little things from videos and just adding it to mine, but then like I have my own style to it. Like I was really big into VX filming, like how you said, the old school style where it's like people are getting up in there. So I do that with my DSLR. Like I straight put it in there. Like I don't care if it gets hit. Like we're gonna get this clip and we're gonna make it look good, you know. So that's what I really like. So I kind of take a little bit of everything and just put in my own spin to it.
Right.
So I have a question too, because so I have a lot of skaters that I film, or these are new skaters, right? Like they've never been street skating. Yeah. And every time they do a trick, they like to tell me sorry. Like, they'll be like, sorry, I'm wasting your time. Like, and I started telling them, like, if you tell me sorry one more time, I'm not going to film you.
So that comes from, like, them not coming out street skating, and they think that they're wasting your time. Yeah. And I'm telling them, like, dude, I'm taking you out because I want you out here, and don't worry about it. We could be here all day if we want.
Yeah, see, I tell them the same. I tell them the same thing. Look, I hit you up because I see something in you. I'm taking you to a spot that I think I know you got something on. Yeah. And that's why I tell them, look, if you tell me sorry one more time, I will literally turn around and stop filming you. And then it goes, all right. I'll stop. And then like I've had homies call me like, dude, I'm so close to just saying I'm sorry, but you told me. And I'm just like, dude, just keep doing your trick. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about hitting the camera because I'll pull it. I got that filmer reaction where I can pull out fast. I can pull out fast enough, and you know, just don't focus. Don't worry anything about me, because I know a lot of skaters worry on the filmer. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm taking his time up. He's probably sitting there too long. I'm just like, dude, don't think about that.
You know? Especially if they think you want to skate as well, you know what I mean, and they do start feeling bad. You know? But at the same time, like I point the camera too, you know, at the skate park. Yeah. And I pop in one earbud so I can hear what's going on. but I still like to have my music so that way I'm not getting frustrated if the guy ain't landing a trick. I'm just zoning out. I'm dancing and I'm like, here, no, you got this, bro, whatever. And then like if I like yesterday, Rudy was trying to get that front nose, and I'm like, well, like all I said was like, why don't you try the front board real quick? I just wanted him to land something to get his confidence back up, because I knew he was gonna bust that one out. He goes, oh, that's a good idea, huh? Because then I come out fakey, and he's like, yeah, I think that's gonna work better actually. And then boom, busts it out, gets the trick in that try, and like he goes, but you haven't been to LP yet. He does a front board on the rail, comes up a quarter pipe, tail stall, and he comes out and he bashes up the little. What is it, like a triangle double?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like I call it the shark fin.
Oh, okay.
Little shark fin. He goes up double pipe in it, boom, comes down, and then 50-50 stall, then comes down 5, it goes back up 5 O's down it.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet, man. It was a cool little line and stuff. So
and it's funny too when you say like, oh, why don't you do this trick? You kind of have to, as a filmer, you have to give like little tips and advice. Like you're that third eye where you're seeing the skater like, oh, why don't you twist your shoulders? Like
it's like you're like the Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're the little guardian angel on their shoulder.
You're gonna
like,
be like, hey, do this, do that, or like maybe have you thought about going faster? I don't know.
Yeah, or sometimes like when these dudes are like, oh, I'm not feeling it because I gotta break my shoes in. I'm like, dude, just do a 50-50, warm up, like do a basic trick, warm up. Yeah, like you're trying to push them to just like they're not feeling it, but just do something.
A lot of them see the camera come out and they just want to try to go for it sometimes. When like less is more, you start popping higher than you normally would. You're like, dude, just do it.
Take it, do your thing. Yeah,
just have fun.
Yeah, have fun. And
I that's what I try to tell them. Just have fun. Don't even think I'm here. But the camera comes out and it gets a little like, oh my god,
yeah, like, I gotta do this. Yeah, it's funny because that you mentioned it too when you told your homie like do a front board. Like every spot I go to with the homie or whatever, I'm always like, get a safe clip. Like, get something for sure you get, so you have something. So
well, let's bring something home today. Let's not just get broken off. You know, like, I do that to myself all the time. Like, we're at some ledge spot over here, and I always get that damn place mixed up with another place. But I was trying to switch nose to a big spin out, and I couldn't get it. But I was like, you know what? Like, let me at least do it just switch nose slide, land it. I got something to take home, and then we can go back to that one. And sure enough, I only got to take that one home. So good thing I didn't burn myself out on one trick, right?
Yeah, it works out too, and like everybody leaves happy, and like you're not battling it. It does get to a point where like you go back to a spot and you're like, I don't want the safe clip because I already got it. Now I gotta try the real trick, and then that's where the real battle kind of begins,
Ooh, man, I'm going for another safe.
I mean, sometimes you do the safe trick to like warm up.
That too. Yeah.
Or like get a feel for the spot. Like you roll up to. I mean, you're rolling up to a 14 star. You're like, I think I should ollie it once. I mean, unless you're confident that you have that tray flip on log. But those dudes have confidence.
Yeah.
Dude. It just depends.
I seen like people, so they're freaked out or scared to jump off the stairs to the right, so with their board. So dude, I just seen them jumping off their board just to test it out. I'm like, dude, that's how you get hurt.
Sometimes I look at that, I'm like, that's heel bruises waiting to happen.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, I gotta like jump off like the 10 and see how it feels, and they just like do a running start, and I'm like looking at them, I'm like, oh, and it's usually the younger kids that are like about it. I'm like, yeah, that's cool because you're young and you can do it. But like me, I'm like, hell no. Like this shit.
You're like, I'm gonna hop down and I'm gonna make sure I land on the board.
I gotta hop
two stare at.
Yeah, I gotta hop fucking jumping a fence. Shit, dude, that shit sucked.
Dude, I popped my hip the other day fucking jumping a fence, and last 3 weeks I just been feeling it. Like my hips just like but I'm still pushing through it.
Yeah, I don't know what Steve Bear was thinking. Never stop jumping fences. That shit sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ooh.
Make an old man entrance.
I don't want to jump fences.
Or I'm always like, thank God there's like a little opening. I'm like, yeah, it's like I don't have to jump a fence.
Dude,
like,
I carry a pair of bolt cutters in my car. And sometimes
really?
Sometimes I'm like, should I just cut the fence? And everyone's like, nah, you're gonna burn the spot out. I'm like, dude, I can really just cut a little hole. We can crawl in through.
And bring zip ties with you too, so in case you gotta close it up. Yeah. Especially if I'm on the sesh, man, you might have to pop that fence open because I almost got stuck in Cal High one time. I was banging on the gym door because they were playing basketball.
Oh, really?
I was like, hey, I wanted.
Well, I think the worst part about
I still figured it out.
I think the worst part about jumping fences is not getting in. Mm-hmm. It's getting out after you're beat.
The school was open when we first got there, and then we stayed so long. It was nighttime, and they shut all the fences.
So they saw,
Well, I mean, you're after a session, especially if you're sitting there and you're putting in work on a trick, you're beat, and you're just like, damn.
Yeah.
I just got worked, and I got to jump a fence to get back out.
Yeah, that I feel that. I'll still do it, but I just sometimes I'm like, I just hope there's an easier way to get in. Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I walk around the whole school looking for an easier way.
Yeah. But sometimes like you gotta bite the bullet. Like you don't know if I gotta jump it.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it sucks too. Like if you because you probably carry a camera bag, right?
Yeah, I carry a camera bag.
So you know, I know that thing gets heavy at a certain point, and you're just like, damn. Yeah. Really? And then you're just trying to hand it over. And you're telling the homie, please don't drop it.
Or sometimes it's like the homie's already in there and you gotta like, oh, I gotta do this by myself. You gotta jump it with the bag and stuff.
Yeah, or like we used to be able to fit under the fence. Well, when I was younger. And
I don't think we're that skinny anymore.
Not anymore, buddy, man. I used to be able to go under the fence, like
like everybody. You know,
Dude. Now people are throwing their boards under the fence and have to find another way in. So
I don't know. Jumping fences is cool, I guess, for a bit, but after a while it gets tiring. Especially the LA ones.
Better be worth it.
I think I don't mind jumping fences, but it just kind of like as long as somebody gets something we're cool in, I don't mind jumping back. Or even if you're trying the real clip, then we're fine. You know, it's like I'm never gonna complain about going out filming and not getting anything because it's like.
And if you're tried. And if you're kicking me out, you're opening the gate to let me out. Now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jumping out.
Yeah, that's something too. I remember somebody was like, I was like, oh, can you open the gates? Like, well, you guys hopped it, right? You guys can hop back the other way. I'm like, fuck.
No, have you ever had that one where you got the wrought iron fence and it's poking, you have to hold yourself on that bar, and you're just like you're like
gymnastics.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't know I was this strong,
dude.
But you're just like, don't impale your nuts on the fucking fence.
It's funny because like around 2020 I got really into working out, and like after work I would go to the gym and stuff, and beforehand I'm like, fuck, I hate jumping fences, like because I was like scrawnier and I'm like, this fucking sucks, this and that, blah blah. When I start working out, muscle, I got muscle. I'm just like, this is easier, like way easier. But now like for me, I'm pulling myself up and everything. But now what I mentioned earlier is like when I jump out of the fence and like I get a hot pocket, I feel it and it hurts every single time.
That's the worst part. I could be like this high from the ground, I still. I'm cold and like my knees get shocked. I'm like, what the hell was that?
That always sucks. So like,
you need to invest into some like good shoes or insole technology.
Yeah, that I have to, but I don't know. I probably look into FP insoles or Dr. Scholl's or something. I don't know. I really gotta look into that.
I mean, the FPs come through, dude.
Really? Yeah. Do they really? I don't know. I don't know about like. I see the marketing and stuff, but I'm always kind of like, should I? Should I not?
It's worth it. I put them in my work shoes.
I have them in my work shoes and my skate shoes. I keep me running.
I gotta try that out. Shit.
Yeah. So that's so dope, dude. And then what's your YouTube channel?
Just my name is like Robert Almaraz. It's like I had when I made it, I was like, I'm just use my name. But the easy way to find it, if you put like 6 pound 6 video and like video, it's like the first one that pops up.
I remember when I met a homegirl out here in OC, and she's the one who told me about you guys.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Her name was Rosa. She used to skate Pondy all the time.
Was it Rose?
Yeah.
Oh, so does she have the dog pound tattoo on her knees?
I think so. I know she had a bunch of crazy tattoos on her. I met her at 4th.
Oh, okay.
I met her at 4th one time, and then she lived right next to. She lived. No, not Pondy. She lived next to Monza.
Okay, I think so.
She wore glasses.
Yeah. She's like, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah. She's cool as fuck.
Yeah. I haven't seen. Dude, she's in the video too. And she's like, I think the only girl that got a clip, and she's the only girl that got a clip in there, and she's the only one that has a park clip in there, like a skate park, and it was at Bellflower. But yeah. I remember she's super cool. Like I think she lives out in LA now. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I always like message her, like, hey, I made stickers. You want some? It's like, yeah, give me some. I'm like,
yeah.
Cool.
She was telling me like, oh, check out the homies from 6 pound 6, and she's like, hit them up. They'll give you stickers.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, what? And I was like, whatever. That's the first time I heard you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm like, I don't mind. I was like, yeah, sure. I remember too because this is like the beginning of filming, maybe like 2017 or 18. And she comes up to me, it's like, hey, dude, guess what? I'm like, what's up? I got dog pound tatted on me. I'm like what? Like, did you really? And you see it, and it's like a stick and poke that says dog on one knee, and the other one says pound. I'm like,
I think she does have.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, what the? And I was tripping. It's like, why'd you do that? Like, you don't have to do that. It's like, I'm tripping. Like, why? He's like, I don't know. I just want to do it. It's like, you're always cool and like taking us out to skate and film. I'm like, I know, but you don't have to do that.
Nah, she's cool. I think she's pretty cool.
I gotta shoot her some product because like it's been a minute since I talked to her, so I haven't really seen her that much. Because my local skate park where we all like linked up at what's called Plastics because it was like all prefabricated stuff or whatever. They tore that down recently, and they have that new park that's in there right by like the packing house.
Okay.
But beforehand, everybody would link up there. It's funny too. Everybody would link up there. It's on a main street. Everybody just chilling, smoking and drinking, and like cops would pass by. Nobody would say anything.
Yeah.
But that park was fun, and like I'll probably miss that park a lot because it had the perfect flat ground. That's the one thing I'm always kind of looking at skate parks is like, is the ground good? Because Ponderosa was always super slippery, slick. I never really liked the flow of it sometimes because it's like 3 intersections. Monza's cool, but you don't go there in the morning or afternoon. At night, it just
Monza's really thin, right? Like,
it's just like
kind of
narrow.
One direction
back and forth. And
I skated a couple of times, and I was like, I think the only thing it's good for is the bowl.
Yeah, if you like the bowl's built really well.
I know Art goes there a lot.
Yeah, Art's always out there.
Sick ass food's there too.
Yeah, who else? A lot of people. I would try to go there, but at night it just gets too packed, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just skate in the day and the afternoon, and then I'll just chill at home at night.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The one park I do miss skating every damn night was La Habra.
Oh yeah.
La Habra was my that was my go-to every night.
That helmet rule.
Zach is actually doing a petition right now.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get a city ordinance to get rid of it and stuff like that. And he's actually trying to make an effort, and that's why I think that's super rad. And it goes back to skate shops.
I went there yesterday to go drop off the that big boy board, George Duvall's board.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so he can go pick it up over there. But I guess the guy, he's been getting so many messages because of Zach, you know. And he goes, "Trust me, we're working on it. We've talked to them, you know, like it just for whatever reason they still can't do anything about it. But they're gonna be having something come up pretty soon, like a city council meeting."
Well, let's get our viewers on board with this. You know,
they said a lot of people showed up, but a lot of people didn't do what was the second part that was necessary. Like either like I don't know, maybe signing or I don't know what they didn't do. A lot of people showed up, but they didn't do the second part. But we need to figure out what that is. And like right now, we're getting all the signatures. It was almost at maybe like 300 or 400 signatures.
Yeah, they're close to getting 500. And I think I signed it too. I signed it, and I'm not sure if it's fully completed, but I'll probably re-sign it again. But it's tight that he's doing that. And
for the viewers out there, if you can go find that, it's at 88 Skate Shop on Instagram, and there's a link. Usually on his stories.
He's just posting it a lot, and then people are sharing it. So I'm pretty sure somebody is going to see it. So
go sign that, please. We want to eliminate that helmet rule. We want to eliminate the security guard that's sitting there getting paid for doing nothing because the park is not even being utilized right now. It's super empty. The only time people skated is during the morning or after when he leaves.
Yeah.
And then, but what the crazy part is, 88's allowed to go put the fun boxes and the rails
the courts,
down at the basketball courts, and they don't say nothing.
Yeah,
it's like you make a makeshift skate park next to the skate park.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So it's kind of ridiculous, and so you know it'd be fun to go back to that park again. You know.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've been there. I remember first hearing that park, and it was like it was cool when they had no helmets and stuff. And then I don't know what, maybe because I don't really go to La Habra that much, but like when I heard they had the helmet rule and the security, I'm just like that's kind of whack. Like you know, but I do really like how Zach is pushing for the liberation pretty much of the skate park, and you could tell he's really about the community and stuff, and like that's what I really like about him is like he's always about it too, and he's one of the first dudes that's like I mentioned, bring my stuff into the shop, and I'm like, damn, like I gotta do this, you know, like I gotta put people on.
They're super supportive, man. Yeah. Like when we're doing the podcast, and they were one of the first shops that I've ever seen repost them watching it in the skate shop, so that made me feel real proud.
Yeah, that's like,
you know what I mean? Like we're actually, you know, getting our voice out there now, you know, and he's helping out, you know.
Yeah.
And so we've had a few people from La Habra come on the show as well. So
sick.
It's been fun, man. It's been real fun to get these guys out there, get their stories. Yeah. Let's take a quick break. We're back, everybody. All right, let's get into do you have hobbies off the board besides filming and stuff like that?
Yeah. So lately, the past 3 to 4 years, I've been working out, going to the gym. That's something I really like to do. So kind of like the older I get, I want to have like mind and body kind of be at peace and be like really. So as I get older, I could still be able to skate, do still other stuff. It kind of all contributes to skating. I watch a lot of anime. I read a lot of books too. So like I'm a big head in that. That's where I get a lot of my inspirations for like a lot of designs that I do.
Okay.
I was doing Muay Thai for like maybe a year or so when I wasn't working, but I need to get back onto it because I really like doing that too.
That's a good exercise.
Yeah.
Right there, man.
Dude, it works you
whole
out.
body.
Yeah, dude, every session I would be like drenched in sweat and it was always nasty. I'm like, ugh. But I liked it because I didn't know I was putting in work.
But yeah, you feel better afterwards.
Yeah, and then what else? Going to bars is always cool. Like, I guess drinking is a hobby in a way.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be.
I turned it into a major hobby. Yeah, man. Dude, that's cool, man. Shout out to that. Dude.
Yeah, so that pretty much that. I'm trying to figure out anything else.
You mentioned you played soccer, basketball, or some sports.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? How old were you when you were playing?
I was like probably 13, 14. I don't play as often anymore, but when I played basketball, I was like a power forward. When I played baseball, I was like first base. I always like playing first base. I had no like arm for outfield and stuff.
Yeah.
And then soccer, I was always defender because like I didn't have like, I was always the chunky kid in a way. Like I was skinny fat, but I never was super good at playing soccer. So I was always a defender. But yeah, so I still keep up on sports too. So that's something I probably like to do a lot is like, I'm a big Angels fan. I know. Yes, I know.
Angels all the way.
So finally.
Come on.
I'm a big Ducks fan. And then
Again.
Quack, quack. Quack, quack all day.
I like the Lakers a lot too.
There we go. Now we can talk.
And then football, I like all around. I don't have a specific team, but I just don't like the Cowboys.
Okay.
That's the thing I want to just throw out there. But
Everyone don't like the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I still like Raiders because I mean, back in when I was growing up, they were LA.
LA, yeah.
Yeah, and we had the Rams too, but they all leave. They
all leave and come back and all that.
Yeah, but so I just kind of like, and then colors were always
that was a big thing. Yeah,
because in school, like going to school, those were like gang related.
Gang
so
related.
I liked the lure that you weren't supposed to wear it. You know what I mean? Like the fact that they said no made it more like I want it.
Well, NWA was a big part of it. That's why because I have a lot of Raider hats and stuff like that, but I just rock it because it's like, oh, NWA and like this is like a big part of LA culture, and like even OC culture. You could see me photos of me being little in all Raider gear and King's gear.
So cool.
So
but now it's all Angels and Ducks.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's cool. Hey man, that's what you like. That's what you support.
I was a little sick fool. But not anymore.
Well, that's cool. And shout out to Anaheim, man. And you're representing it, dude. That's cool. And all the filming that you're doing for all the people that you've done it for. Man, that's cool. Because I do want to check out those videos, man. I do want to check out the Instagram. Yeah. I'm sorry, the YouTube channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
And we'll make sure to put all the links in the description below so everybody else can check them out too. And let's see here. Before we get out of here, dude, we always do a crazy question.
Oh, sick.
From a bowl here.
I was looking at that. What is this?
What is this?
He's a pterodactyl.
Well, we'll see what question he picks.
All right. I got a long one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's not that long. I thought it was going to be long.
What was the question on that one? I'm sorry. Pause.
Pause.
It's a question within a question within a question.
Yeah.
If you could be pro athlete, what sport are you playing? It'll probably be baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah, just because it's like you have a longer, you could play the sport longer as a pro athlete because like you don't have to do a lot. Dude, I've seen like pro athletes, like I think Prince Fielder was like 300 pounds and he was still playing first base. And he was eating good, so I'm like, I might do that. It'll probably be that. I know I don't have the mental fortitude for hockey. I probably could do basketball too, but I think baseball would probably be the one.
Baseball, if you could be pro.
Yeah, if I could be pro.
Well, I mean, if you skate, I think you can hold down in hockey because every day we're tackling the cement.
Yeah, but
man, a cement compared to a fist, I don't think it's as bad.
But have you seen the hockey players? They're like 6'5".
Yeah,
they're 6'5".
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
They're big. I'm big too. I'm like 6'2", but like those guys are big.
Yeah,
I feel short around there.
You can leave it posted that.
I mean, I can imagine, especially when I see them do their.
Repeat it.
Oh, they don't want to repeat it. All right, cool. Oh, okay, cool.
I was gonna say I can see when they do the controlled fights.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, damn, dude, these fools are just like, let me hold your face and just bop, bop, bop. Whoever taps out first.
Pretty much.
Well, whoever goes down on their knee first.
That's how they
stop it. Yeah. That's what kind of lured me into watching hockey because I mean, especially if you go to a game, that's everything. But I mean, the fighting has always been cool. Like I always like, how come they don't allow that like in other sports?
Every sport,
you know? that'll make it way more interesting.
Especially in basketball, too much flopping.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit. And then even soccer too.
Soccer's another one.
The ones when they just they're all hurt.
Yeah.
I used to call a couple homies who would skate with us. I'd be like, "Fool, you're acting like a soccer player." They would fall and then just be like, "I'm like, all right, bro, you're acting like a soccer player. You're trying to get out of the clip, huh?"
To me, it makes us feel like we're tougher, you know, because like, dude, you see a big basketball player like LeBron, and he's acting all hurt, and you see me all tiny jumping out of a 12-stair, I get back up.
You get back up and do it again.
I got this right here.
A good example was last night. I was only down a 6-stair. I fucking took straight the knee to the ground. And then the first thing I got mad. I was like, oh! But then the first thing I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna land the next try.
Yeah, see, it's cool like how we have that mental and physical fortitude, but like, yeah, I don't know, dude. The older I get too, the pain just hurts a little longer.
Oh, yeah, trust me.
I woke up today and I was like, I don't want to do anything. I mean, I was like, do I have to get up right now? I was like, can I sleep like 10, 15 more minutes?
That was me today, actually.
Ooh. Then the hot shower kicked in.
Yeah, the hot shower comes through.
Yeah, the hot shower kicked in, and I was just like, all right, I'm good to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. And I do want to show these shirts that you brought.
Oh, yeah, this is for you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. We do want to see these shirts. There's a large here.
Was that the Dog Pound brand? Or?
Yeah. All of it is.
Yeah,
you guys could open it too. This is all for you guys. I didn't have a lot of larges left because it's like I did an inventory check. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't have a lot. But take what you guys need.
Let's put that XL fit me good.
And then I also brought double X if anybody want to be on.
I guess maybe I'll take the double X because I'm a big boy. But yeah, dude, thank you for that. Dude. I appreciate it.
Open it up, see what you guys like.
I do want to check it out, bro.
Here, I'll open up the other one because they're two different designs.
I know Zach was showing me your stuff because I stopped by the shop and he was like, "Oh, I heard the homie Dog Pound." I was like, "Yeah, dude, that's Rose." Back to Rose again.
Back to Rose, yeah.
She's the one who introduced me to the Dog Pound.
Yeah, and then this is like little Morgan logo here.
Yeah.
And then the big one in the back.
Oh. Yeah, I might take that one because I love anime.
This one was a hot seller, so like I didn't realize I didn't have a lot of these left. I'm like, fuck, I only got like 2 larges, and I need to see one for the website at least.
That's cool, man.
I'm gonna have to call dibs on that
and
one.
Then something for the rainy day, something simple.
Yeah.
Everybody could wear it.
If you guys don't like beanies, I'll take
Appreciate
it.
that.
No problem, guys. You guys have been killing
The website is dogpound.com.
The website is 6D6P6, and you can find it on the Instagram bio. So you'll see it right there. You could probably find it on my bio as well. And I'm always doing like, I don't do a lot of drops. I do maybe like realistically 2 to 3 drops every year because one, a lot of it is coming out of my own pocket.
Right.
And like it's either coming out of my own pocket or like I'm reinvesting in the brand from the money that I make from that. So it's like it's always it's like a revolving door pretty much.
Right.
So I'm always trying to do something, a little bit of everything, you know, and try to have like cool gear where everybody can rock it. Like even if you want one for your dog, go for it. You know?
Right.
So.
Is this like are you like a one-man team, like just running the business by yourself, or you got someone helping you out?
So in terms of like designs and stuff like that, it'd be me and my homie Caleb. He helps out with like a lot of like tweaking designs or like having suggestions. I guess I do have a little team because it's people of like opinions and voices. They're like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then for the website and the photos that I do, it's just me and like whoever I'm like shooting photos for or like the model that's there. Yeah. So in a sense, I am running it by myself, but for the most part, it's like I have other people kind of like supporting me as well too. That's so I guess it's one-man team kind of, but not in a way. But yeah, so I don't know. If I could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Really, really true.
Yeah, you got any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I got a question. You could work on a skate video with any filmer, any pro filmer. Like who would you film with or work with?
Kevin Perez. The one that he films a lot for like April and like Primitive. Okay. Just because like I like the way he has the HD camera, but with that VX fisheye. And like everything that he does. And then Devontae Jolly is another one too. He's super cool. I like his editing style and his music choice. It's always kind of very unconventional, but it fits his videos very well. So yeah, those are the people I definitely would want to work with.
Shout out to that.
I got another 2 questions.
Yeah.
Who would you like to like work on a future project with? Like any homies or any pro like you have in mind?
In terms of homies, I would definitely want to try to lift off with the 88 skate promo that I'm helping out, and then the homie Lorenzo Young Chocolate, because he's he's killing it. I think he should be on. He is on a skate shop, but we're trying to get his footage out to like the big brands like Spitfire Venture, and like I think he wants to try to do hockey or frog, but just see where it goes.
Frog's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
Frog's it's kind of funny, but you should check it out. In terms of with the pro, I'll definitely would. I don't know. Just the little kid is screaming at me to probably like work on one with P-Rod, get one clip, like a street clip. I've filmed P-Rod before, but like it was at the skate park because he was there doing like a meet and greet type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you want to film a clip? He's like, fuck it. And he does crook, nollie flip out, goes back on the quarter, and then he does switch crook. I think fakie flip out, would that be it? Yeah, so he kind of did like both ways.
Image.
Yeah, mirrored image pretty much.
Yeah,
mirrored image clip. I'm like, oh, cool. And it was at the local park. So I have that, but I want to film like a real street clip, you know?
Yeah.
So
that'll be cool.
Nice. I got 2 more questions, and I think that'll be it for my questions.
Good,
but let me see. What was the question? Damn it, I forgot. I just completely blanked.
No, you're good.
Like, who would you like to see on the show next?
I don't know, actually. I would probably say Lorenzo, Young Chocolate. Yeah,
Cool.
reach out to him, see if he's down. If he's not busy, I'm trying to figure out who else I would say him right now. If somebody else comes up to him, I'll definitely shoot you guys a message. But that'd be him,
Yeah, we want to get everybody on the show, man.
Yeah,
them.
for sure. I think.
Actually, no. Zach from 88. You should get
Zach's in line.
Oh, sick. All right, cool.
He just said he has to wait till football's over.
Pretty much.
I walked into the shop today and he was all up on the Steelers.
Oh, is it because of Arthur Smith or something?
I don't know. He had the Steelers game going on. And I just seen him at the TV. Like we're chopping it up, and I just seen him watching the. I don't know who the Steelers were playing, but I remember I just seen him. He was up on the TV like, and I was like, damn, that's the first time I walked into a skate shop. And it's not a skate video, it's a football game.
Yeah, he's Bill's Mafia, so he's always into, like, when it's football season, super into it. That into he's probably, I don't know if he's betting or anything, but, like, yeah, you know how parlays and betting.
I think they might have been playing the Bills that day.
If it was Bills, then it was his team.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know when the Super Bowl is this year, but do you guys know when it's dropping?
I think it drops in, like, a few days.
No, next Sunday.
Next
Sunday in Vegas,
So the Super Bowl had already happened, so this comes out on the 15th.
All right, cool. Yeah. So hopefully 49ers win it. That's the only thing.
A lot of people are going for the Niners.
Yeah. I'm not a football person, but I hope your team loses.
I don't even have a team. So
I'm just saying to
the other people.
Whoever plays football, I hope both teams lose.
Carl, do you have any questions?
So just being like out of OC and everything, like, are you trying to bring like more attention to the OC, or like would you appreciate that, like that, you know, like more of the skate scene gets out of like being stuck in LA and like comes out and experiences this side of the skate scene?
It's probably more just kind of exposure to the skate scene and the skaters that are out there, you know? Because I know LA's been the hub, and the last couple of years you could be anywhere now, and that could be your skate hub. But like, I feel like I'm not trying to bring attention. I'm just trying to bring more attention to the homies, and hopefully that is kind of like it's like a waterfall effect. It just trickles down to everybody else, and everybody gets notice of it too.
Okay.
I feel like OC skate scene's always been around, but it's very subtle, you know, and people are always popping out the woodworks over there too. So, but I feel like I would want more attention to it. Now with more skate parks in Anaheim and Orange County, it's kind of like everybody's like has eyes on us. So I'm kind of like, oh shit, like everything's new. People are coming out, all these pros, you know. So I guess the scene's there, but I think I want more recognition on my homies and like the ones that I film with, kind of being like, oh, like he's doing work. He's actually getting out there, you know.
And that's one reason I ask, you know, because I've been coming out this way a lot more lately, and I'm like noticing, like, dude, there's some pretty gnarly dudes out here, and they're like, these dudes need to get attention. Like, I'm like, I understand, you know, LA this, LA that, but I've ran into some I'll name like sick ass food. He rips in the bowls.
He rips.
Art kills the bowls.
He rips too.
Chili himself kills it too. He's just he's just chilly.
He's just chill. The Chili's it's funny, every time we go film, he's like, I'm gonna try to get 2 or 3 clips. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't have any standard or anybody when we go filming. It's like, we get it. But every time we always film, it's always been the most productive day at filming, you know, because he gets what he wants. Yeah. Besides that one time he like broke his collarbone, but that's another. I'm pretty sure he said it. No, did he ever mention?
We might have brought it up.
I think
we're still kind of new at the show at that time, so I don't know how quick his.
We were pretty early on with him still, so like we were barely tapping into like 30-40 minute episodes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, dude, shout out to that, man.
But yeah, like I said, you know, I've been meaning like I just the other day, because I work right there by Angel Stadium, I was just cruising in my work truck. Saw a Hey Shippy just cruising down the street, and I was like, I literally opened my work window. I was like, Hey Shippy, you know, like I'm starting to like, and then Skate Show bringing in more like a lot of the OC skaters. I'm starting to meet you guys more like personally on a level and like
just kind of get to know more.
Yeah, and then like now I'm just catching you guys out there.
Yeah, you could go. Oh, for me, just catching me on my lunch breaks at like probably at Palm Lane. That's where I've been going mostly. Probably when the new park opens up, I'll probably be back there again.
All right,
so I can't wait to check it out, man. I still haven't even checked out that Tustin Park that I've been wanting to try.
Legacy?
I think
it's the one with the little eagle fucking blunt thingy on it.
And it has that bench that looks like it's like a smiley face.
Yeah, and then you got the bowl. Right there.
Okay. No, I haven't been to the Tustin one.
I searched it once, but it was too packed that day when I went.
Yeah, if I see a park packed, I was like, you know, I'm just going on my lunch break or like when on a weekday when all the kids are in school.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
When the older guys are there like me. Yeah, man. Oh, well, dude. It's been awesome. You got anything else, Proto?
No, you know, I think I tapped in. I mean, we'll probably tap in some more after the show about some stuff.
I remember the question I was going to ask before the question
I
asked. Were you, I know you do both. You're a skater filmer. What did you do first? Did you do the skateboarding, then the filming came, or the filming, then the skateboarding? I think you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, so just to clarify, it was the skateboarding first. Then the filming came on because my best friend Alberto was like, hey, you have a camera. Are you down to help me out? And then as that progressed, like obviously I'm skating still, but then the filming game kind of took a little bit more over. Now, like if anything, if we go to a spot, like I'm mostly filming half of the time. And if I do skate, then I'm at a park, you know, on the weekday or whatever. I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, I'll just fully accept the full role of a filmer, you know, because I'm still out there. I'm still like filming. I'm still getting the same stoke.
That's dope.
See, I think that's where I'm still fighting. Accepting
the filmer role.
I'm becoming a filmer, but like I can skate like a skater, and I'm just like I also want to film a part.
Yeah, that I was never like the best in the group or whatever.
Same here.
So I'm always like, you know, I'll accept it. I want to help the homies out. This is another way of contributing. And then since I worked at the shop, I was building connections, and hopefully I could get things out there and try to get a homie on or something. That's, you know,
cool, man.
So
that's everything right there.
I was like I told these guys, I was like, I'm trying to Kurt chart myself my way out this year on this last part.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to Kurt chart myself out, and then I can just focus on filming after that and creating some great content.
Dude, it's like I see him trying, you know, he's always filming everybody, the whole squad, even the camera, and sometimes, you know, I land my tricks and I'm keep skating, you know, to get the squad hype. At the same time, like I want him to try his trick too, so I tell him like, hey, you want me to take the camera, like try your trick, you know, and then like me myself too, as a skateboarder, I want to learn how to film too, you know, because I want to be a filmer, you know.
Like, I feel like that's kind of, if you guys always have a for sure solid squad and you guys are always filming together, it's like I feel like cameras are easy to work around. It just kind of, you just gotta take like maybe a day or a couple of days to just really learn it. But I don't know. It just, I mean,
it's hard to let go of the camera, but it is cool when you get somebody else that knows how to point and shoot,
definitely.
And you trust they're gonna capture what you're actually looking for, so you could actually focus on what you're doing instead of worrying about, is he gonna capture this right?
Yeah.
I also feel like they're also learning the filmer side. Like, you know, it's not easy, you know, being slouched down all day or like, you know, like being just in one position all day. It takes a beating on your body, you know.
For sure.
It does. That's why I think the reason why I started going to the gym was like, oh, I'm gonna have my body upkeep, you know. But I remember there's days before I would go to the gym, like I was so beat, and like it would be like a 2-hour filming session. Now, like I think the other day I was like out filming at a mani pad with the homie, and he was trying to get a clip. We were filming for like 3 hours straight, and like I felt like if I wasn't up to par in terms of like my health, I think I would have tapped out after hour one, you know.
I just had that happen to us with the session. I don't know if you ever skated that Pomona curve ledge.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was up there and I was in the playground and I think like 2-3 hours I was holding the camera, and at a certain point I was like, dude, this thing's getting heavy. My arm is just like I'm literally holding my arm like this, trying to keep the camera up and steady, because and they were like, nah, like just keep filming, and I'm like, dude, you don't understand, like I'm feeling it, dude, like this camera is not light.
That's why I think I like DSLRs. They're like super easy. Yeah.
They're light, but I mean, I can't give up on the NX5U because like you get that every time it gets darker and just like refocus, white balance, fucking, you know, you just got so much to mess with to make a clip look nice.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, man, dude. Shout out to that. Shout out to you filming out there. Shout out to all the boys and everything that you do, bro. What are your shout outs before we get out of here?
You know what? I should have had this written down. There's someone that I don't know who to shout out. Honestly, first my mom and my dad for bringing me into this world. I guess all the homies out in Orange County. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Brian from Icon. Shout out. I don't know. Just shout out to everybody that's helped me along the way. You know, whether it's filming, understanding like my time and everybody. Because I don't know. When it comes to shout outs, I want to shout out to everybody that's helped me out so far. Like you guys. Yeah. You know.
Oh, thank you.
So I want to. It sounds super broad and basic and generic, but I'd rather be like super thankful for everybody that's helped me out along this way.
Oh yeah, us too, man. Everybody that supports the show as well, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Listo, shout outs.
Got some shout outs. Shout out God first. You know, shout out my mom, my dad. Like how you said, bringing me to this world. You know, making me the person I am today.
Yeah.
Shout out Where the Locals Sk8. Shout out Skateboarding. Shout out my sponsors. Shout out Peralta Skate Show. You know, and all my homies out there skating, the people doing positive things and keeping it going.
Yeah.
Peralta?
Oh, my bad. And shout out to Robert for coming out here. My bad, Peralta, and sharing your story. And, you know, got to know a little bit about you. And hopefully we skate on the streets soon, man. Hopefully get a clip in our project or maybe sometime with you, you know?
There's a mani pad that's super close.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about a mani pad yesterday.
Yeah. I'll show you guys after, like, where it's at. It's like, it's a Bueno Park. It's not too far.
Okay.
It's like 10 minutes down the street.
Listo was just hitting me up the other day. He's like, we need to find a nice little mani pad, not too high, not too low, not too hard to skate.
No, I got you guys. I know the exact one. I was telling David Fink, the Nike rep, where it's at, because I saw him at 88. He's like, yo, like, check out this mani pad. He's like, his eyes wide, and he's like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's here. And it's like, yeah, it's like 10 minutes down this way.
Dope.
So,
shout out.
I guess we got a mani pad.
Peralta, shout outs.
I mean, like always, you know, shout out to everyone on the podcast. Thank you for everyone that comes through, the guests. Shout out to you, Rob. Glad that I finally got to meet you.
Yeah, sick.
Homegirl turned me on to you, and
shout out Rose.
Yeah, shout out for Rose for sure. She's a character and she's a great woman. You know, shout out to the whole skate squad. Shout out to everyone who's helped me out, progress. You know, filming, and you know, thank you for coming through.
Yeah,
man. Cool. All right, man. Shout out again, dude. Thank you for coming down, bro.
Dude, thank you.
Really appreciate that, coming down and doing the show. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure to leave us a comment, question, or suggestion down below. All these videos will be in descriptions below. If you or you know somebody that wants to be on our show, hit us up on the Instagram at Where the Locals Sk8, or you can email us at wherethelocalsk8@gmail.com. And OG Skate Show. Until next time, peace out, everybody. That comes with me. Perfect time.